go find some rappers. You ready to get rich? You ready to make money? I'm ready. You ready to buy a house? I'm ready. A car? Yeah. You go find a talent. You trust me. Gotcha. All right, go, boy. Go, boy. Gotcha.
Yo, 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 can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening, everybody. This is the IP Podcast channel. And today we're going to be talking about some real female nature type of things going on. So as if you don't know, Dr. Dre's wife filed for divorce after 25 years. That's a long time, right? It goes to show you. I always hear people talking about this couple, that couple, never me, never this. It can happen to all of us, man. And I want to give a special shout out to my OG, Coach Greg Adams, because that's where I seen his post and I said, "Ooh, I got to hop on that." And even still though, I don't like when guys hop on stuff and don't give the credit of where they got it from. That's something that brothers got to start doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know where you got the idea from. It's okay to shout people out. It's not that. It's just a shout out, fam. You know what I mean? So we got to start giving people credit where credit is due. So I got IP Kingdom, myself, the Red Pill Chauvinist, my OG, Uncle Coach Greg Adams, the Book of Alpharonomy, Dr. BOA, and Lawrence D. Adams. What's going on, guys?
Chilling, man.
What's good, man? What's good?
I'm honored to have BOA and Coach Greg Adams on here, man. Real pleasure, man.
It's an excellent mix because we all know our game. We all know everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of content creators and they talk about things, but they don't talk about things from experience. Now, I know, Coach Adams, you went over this. I seen you when you talked about this yesterday, so I want to start off with you. What's your take on the situation? And then once you go, we'll just bounce it around. So,
yeah, man. You know, of course, when you go through a divorce, there's a lot that you don't know. But the realities of the situation is it doesn't matter. Okay. It doesn't matter what the interpersonal workings of their relationship was, the dynamics of marriage and what I talk about. how men are susceptible to certain things, this is a prime example when you take somebody that has the wealth, the connections, when you have the individual that, you know, for all intents and purposes, for all we know, there's no prenup. This man entered to a relationship on an emotional level, which we tell guys, this is a business contract. And unfortunately, Dr. Dre is about to learn a bad business deal for the third time in his life, making bad deals with Ruthless Records, making bad deals with Suge Knight and Death Row. And the worst deal, the worst amount of money that he's about to lose is to his soon-to-be ex-wife. Brothers got to pay attention to the dynamics of what these relationships are about. And the realities are women know what they're about, but they convince you to get into your emotions to make bad decisions ultimately, whether it's 8 years, 10, 15, or 25, it's still going to be the same result for the vast majority of men.
That's real talk. You know, I listened to a drop. The other day. What's his, how you say his name? Carcino. And what he said was funny because he said, you know, when there might not be, what did he say? There might not be a divorce. It might not even happen. Why is everybody going so crazy? And I'm thinking, fool, if she files for divorce, it's over.
Yeah. Don't
you realize how much buildup you have to have in order for it's like it's over, bro? It don't matter if you can bring it back because if you bring it back, it's on her terms now. So it's over. It's like you're signing up to be a slave. Mm-hmm. And that's real
Scottie
talk.
Pippen learned the same thing, by the way. Scottie Pippen, his wife initially filed for divorce, and then he worked it out. And guess what? She extended her clock and was able to claim a little bit more alimony and child support because she extended the timetable of the marriage.
Right.
Well, if he does this, now he is more susceptible to the marriage law. So guys got to pay attention.
Right. Wow. So I just had a snuckle at that. I'm thinking to myself, like, what does that mean? Like, you don't want to bring that back. It's over, bro. Like,
right. You're not trying to reheat that.
Do you realize how it's just like being in a relationship. Like when you are in a relationship with a woman, right? You're always the last person to know. Mm-hmm. The mother knows, the grandmother knows, the baby mama knows, the sister knows. So when you finally get the news, you're the last person to know, bro. Yeah. It's already been going on. So if it gets to the point, you know how many times she's ran that in her mind and talked about it before she told it to you? It's over, bro. Yep. And even if it's not over, it's still over. Right. Dr. BOA, what you got to say?
You know, the thing is this, man. You know, a lot of times cats feel like just because a woman buys into their process that they can go lax and they can trust her and they can believe in her. And this is what happened with this brother, man. Now, I'm quite sure, you know, he wasn't anywhere near 800 million before he did the deal for the Beats headphones, but I know he was at least sitting on a few mils. At some point, you got to look at this woman and say, yo, I think it's time to sign a prenuptial agreement. The bottom line is 50% of marriages end in divorce anyway, and yours is probably going to be one of those 50% of marriages. So when you realize that your money's getting on and you starting to move in that direction, man, make a sign of prenuptial agreement, man, to get rid of her. You know, and now he's sitting there looking crazy, man, because he thought that this woman was with him forever. Because in her vow, she said, until death do us part. But she don't necessarily mean death to your life. She mean death to her interest in you. Death to her lust for you. Damn. Death to her tolerance for dealing with you any longer. And her tolerance for dealing with Dre is ran out, man. And I hate to see it happen to him, man, because in California, the only reasons you could divorce in California are for irreconcilable differences and someone has to go insane. And when women file for divorce in California, they always hit for 50%. They almost have a 100% kill rate when it comes to killing your pockets in California, man. And that's just what he's dealing with right now, man. You men out there who bragging about your wives and, you know, and talking all this stuff, beware. Because you probably haven't been with your wife as long as she's been with Dre, and you probably don't have as much money as Dre. Just goes to show you, none of it really matters when a woman decides that she'll take the bag and run.
Facts. You know what? I talked to Dr. BOA yesterday, and I was thinking, like, man, she didn't survive all this stuff that she done been with him broke, rumors of homosexual, just everything. What matter of fact, I want to ask Coach Greg Adams and Lawrence D. Adams, what do you think pushed her to the line? Because she has been there through some hard times. What do you think it is?
Let's Lawrence take that.
Go ahead, Lawrence. Shout out to Mr. Man in Action for the super chat.
He's about to give you another joint.
Yeah.
Is he not on? Oh, he's still on the other show, I believe. But let me take that real quick. One of the things that I talk about on our show is a lot of times when women are going to hit the brink of the wall, and we call it the wall, biological wall, the time where she thinks she can cash in or trade in and get out of a bad deal. When they hit that point of no return, they tend to do these things. They're like, okay, this is my last ditch effort to go out there and trade up, trade value, or at least gain some independence. So you have that in mind. She's like, hey, I'm 50 years old. This is my last possible chance. Or you can look at it from the Laura or Larissa Pippen, whatever the girl's name is. You can look at it from that aspect where she's hanging around with the Kardashians and she's looking at it like, look, I can build my own brand. And not only can I build my own brand with the attention, what's available to me online, I can do it on his dime. Okay. I don't need this individual. I can take $450 million legally from his pockets and then build my own brand on top of that and then extend my life out. She doesn't need Dre. And that's what guys got to understand. These women today don't need you. They could use you for what you provide. They could use you for whatever they want. But when it comes time, like Dr. BOA said, when she's done with you, the death of the relationship, it doesn't matter. All of you guys right here, all of these guys that tell you all the time, my wife would never do that to me. I know, I got her on lock. No, you don't. Okay. This is
my wife's different. What you mean, coach? My wife is different, coach.
You don't got it. You don't.
Never do that.
Like that.
Let me tag one thing on to what CGA is saying, man. Also, when they hit that wall, they have this rush of just a ton of bricks just falls on their self-esteem. Yeah. So she needs to validate herself, and the only way she could do that, man, is making herself a free agent. Shout out to Greg. Make herself a free agent. So she can go out there, man, and try to get one of these young cats. A young cat will deal with an old chick who got money if he hadn't made his way in the world yet. So that's exactly what's going to happen. The same thing happened to Diddy. Of course, he wasn't married to this chick, but he might as well have been. He was going through one of the toughest times in his life, man. His children's mother passed suddenly, man, and he was dealing with this, man. This chick jumped off, man, and jumped with the younger trainer that he had purchased for. He was paying the trainer, and she left with him. When they hit that point, man, they need validation. And the only way for a woman who hits the wall to get validation, man, is with some young wood, man.
Great, bro. RPC, check in. What you think, bro?
Hey, yo. Yeah, one of the things I wanted to point out. Well, first of all, one of the things that hasn't been mentioned is how he got his chick, how he got his wife. Does anybody know how he got his wife? Anybody saw that aspect? The fact that his wife was actually married to, I think, like an NFL player or something like that.
NBA, Sadell 3.
Yeah, boom, an NBA player, boom.
Yeah.
So she was already married to an NBA player, and he was basically trying to steal her from her husband, right? Now she left her husband.
I didn't know that. That's new information for me.
So now she left her husband.
I didn't know that.
To marry you. What they say, how you get him is how you lose him. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, what I want to add is people assume that if you have money, that you red pilled or that you smarter or whatever the case may be, like these athletes who get drafted at 18, 19, 22, they get like a, $5 million, $10 million, $20 million contract. And you'd be like, yo, how this dude got like 5 baby mamas? Isn't he smarter than that? Shouldn't he know better? Why'd he buy 5 chains? And the dude is still 19. The dude is still 20. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Dre was 31 and had all this money. I mean, I remember when I was 30, you know what I'm saying? I thought I was mature, but I wasn't as mature as I am now. So, just because Dre had all that money, that doesn't mean he knew what he was doing, that he was red pilled. I mean, for Dre to take his chick from a husband and marry her and not get a prenup. Now, mind you, he didn't get her when he was just starting off as Dr. Dre. Dude was known. You know what I'm saying? He got her in like 96. So they've been married 24 years. He's been 31. So that's like 96. So he was already popping. All right. And what I feel is that another thing I point out, besides, it doesn't matter how much money you have, a dude could still be too emotional and still think with his little head. You know what I'm saying? Like, side note, you know, I've been hearing Birkin bag this, Birkin bag that. I don't know what a Birkin bag is. I've never bought a Birkin bag. I don't need a Birkin bag.
You shouldn't have never bought in a Birkin bag.
Oh yeah, no, but I heard it in listen. I heard it in raps and all that Birkin bag. I don't, you know, I didn't care. But I watched the podcast, and a dude, dude said how much he paid for the bag. I didn't believe it, so I went to Google, bro. Anybody in the chat, y'all listen, y'all look up how much a Birkin bag is. And now when you hear these rappers talk about they buying these shit Birkin bags, these Birkin bags are more expensive than some cars. These Birkin bags could be down payments on a home. I'm not exaggerating. Some of them are the price of a home in Wyoming, but it's the price of a home though, of a house. You know what I'm saying? So just because you have money doesn't mean you can't be too emotional. You can still think with your little head. And what dudes need to realize with this situation, the same with Jeff Bezos, money don't buy love. That's what I be thinking. Like, yo, dudes be thinking just because they have money, like they really gonna find a chick that's gonna love them for them. The way I see it, the more money I make, the less chance I'm gonna find a chick that's gonna be with me for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why just to backtrack a little bit, in my long-term relationship, I got into it before I was in med school. So I looked at it like, and you know, this was me trying to follow society's narrative. So I was like, all right, once I graduate from med school, I'm gonna marry her, this, that, and the third. But nah, man, it ended up not working out because she became a pharmacist before me. So once she achieved her goal, she looked at me like, you know, basically I'm about to basically do me. So that taught me a lesson like, yo, all these years we were together, we holding each other down. You know what I mean? And you just gonna bounce just like that? Why did she bounce? Because she got what she wanted. You know what I'm saying? And the last thing I say is this. What led to the end of my relationship, mind you, she was a pharmacist. I was still in med school. So she was making more than double than me. I'm over here getting student grants and all that, right? I brought up the conversation. Listen, when we get married, before we get married, we need to sign a prenup. She didn't like that. Mind you, she was making more than double than me at that time when I brought it up. She ain't like that. It eventually led to the end of the relationship. How do I look at that? She had her plans, you know what I'm saying? She had her plans for my money when I became a surgeon. Y'all go ahead, man. That's
cold, Jack. Let me shout out the super chats. Shout out to 394. He said he should have signed a prenup. I mean, I'm not signing no prenup because I ain't getting married. We could jump the broom and go on the beach and we just married for fake. LDA, what you got to say, big bro?
Let me say, can you hear me?
Oh, real quick, hold on. Shout out to Coach EO, my brother, my first subscriber. He said on the bright side, Dre got one less beesh he got to worry about. Salute to the Kings. And then while we at it, McCain Motu, he said this could have simple case of karma of his past abusive ways from catching up. Michelle A, yeah, karma's a MF, bro. Karma is a big deal, guys. Go ahead, LDA.
Let me say this. What, and I'm not sure if you want to hit on it because this is the thing. With the situation with Dre, she just didn't file the divorce a couple of days ago. This is something that's been going on that led to the divorce. So what happens is it takes a wise man or it takes a man who knows the game to realize something's going astray with this woman. So he should have took note then to cover himself and put things in place just in case the possibility why he was married, because he's seen things going left. What happens is you can get so comfortable because you get in the in-house kitty cat and you're enjoying it and you don't think she'll leave. You always got to see a way to protect yourself as a man. There were red flags that she was giving all the time while months or even a year ago that's leading up to this situation right now. You got to know when the red flags are being given on the play. And that's what men have to pay attention to. I don't care where you at. You have to pay attention to the red flag. The divorce didn't happen the other day or the filing the other day. It happened way maybe 2 or 3, 4, 5 years ago. Right. He didn't pay attention. She was already, like everyone's been saying, plotting her next move. So you have to be a plotter also. You cannot allow somebody to take anything from you. Let me step back and let the gentleman and talk.
Gotta be a good player.
I see Dr. Bay. I see him going back and forth. Go ahead, King.
You know what? You know what happens, man, is this. Men forget that a woman has to stay busy. You got to constantly put her to work.
Yeah.
The moment you allow her to relax, I say all the time, a man's idle mind is a devil workshop. He know he got to bring a hard hat and a lunch to get you to cross over from what you believe in.
Right.
A woman's idle mind is a devil playground. He licking at the chops as soon as you see a woman sitting there idle because he know he can get her mind to go anywhere. Just ask Adam about Eve. You understand what I'm saying? Ask Samson about Delilah. You know,
Yeah.
he can always get a woman to turn. And I think when you get in that situation where you got that money and you've been around this woman all this time, you don't have a prenup, which means you obviously trust the woman. And let me tell you a funny thing. There's probably several times where people around him, or he even thought himself, man, I should make her sign a prenuptial agreement. But he probably just didn't have the balls to do it.
Thanks.
To keep up that to keep up that ruckus, you know, to create that energy because he was scared to lose her. Well, guess what? She gone anyway.
Hey, Dr. BOA, can you elaborate? Because I remember hearing, I don't remember the title of the video, but you made the video, so you can probably recall about when the quarantine started, it was about to be a lot of breakups.
Yeah, let me tell you what happens, man, when the quarantine starts. When you got to sit down in the house with a woman, then you get to really find out if y'all get along for real. You get to find out if that woman is just okay being with you because you gone all the time, going on business, making money, taking these flights, taking these trips. Same thing with a lot of these professional athletes. No sports now. You know what I'm saying? Your woman used to you being gone now, fool. You at the house with her. If you gonna find out if she really likes you or not. And after a while of being cramped in the house together like that, man, there's a lot of this about to come out, man. You know what I'm saying? Because once things free up, then a woman gets another taste of that freedom and she realizes just how miserable she is with you, man. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is this, bro. I can guarantee you, if a woman is miserable with you, you miserable with her too. You just too dumb to know it.
Ooh, ooh, shout out to King Jordan, my man. He said, man, BOA, that's right. That's hardcore real facts. Shout out for the 99.99 super chat. I ain't got the super chat parties rigged up today. I'm sorry.
Hey, yo, one of the issues is that, you know, a lot of husbands get comfortable in their marriages too. I mean, if they in it for so long, he was married for what, 24 years, so he's probably just coasting in his marriage. Like LDA said, it probably ended about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 years ago. But he was too busy doing what he was doing, whether it be business-wise or even having his own chicks. You know what I'm saying? For him not to even notice. But like it was already said before, he should have been smart enough at some point in time within those 24, 25 years to be like, you know what? If this go left, let me find a way to protect my assets and this, that, and third. Now, let me say this, and you guys can correct me or not. We just heard that he got divorced and there's no prenup. Is there any other way that he may have or can protect his assets without having a prenup?
Yes. I mean, you can put it in a trust, which some people put a lot of their assets in a family trust. Probably negotiate some of the money that came from Apple and put it into a trust where it prohibits her from getting into it. But still, once you're legally entangled with her, she's your wife. I mean, you can pretty much not be able to avoid keeping her out of the business. So, I mean, you could do a post-nuptial agreement. Once you marry, before you marry, you do a prenup. But within the marriage, you can at any point bring her in and do a post-nuptial agreement to make her understand that the dynamics of the financial relationship has changed. And then you can renegotiate. But what we have to understand about her name, I think her name is Nicole Young. She's an attorney professionally.
Oh, yeah?
You're already dealing with somebody who knows the law.
bro.
So as a profession, you're dealing with an attorney. You're not dealing with a dummy. You're not dealing with an individual who doesn't know what the game is. So how is he going to come in with a post-nuptial agreement and try to swing it on her? She's not a hood rat, all right? Despite the fact that she was divorced. She's no dummy. She knows the game, and she knows he made a bad deal.
That wasn't her first rodeo because that's actually her second divorce because she already divorced her first husband, so she already know what to do.
That's why I love doing the panels because I learn a hell of a lot. Because like you've been married and LDA been married twice, so I can't touch on none of this.
I'm all serious for y'all, man.
Sometimes when you listen to some of the content creators, sometimes the lack of their experience in the marriage shows, and it shows because a lot of times they still exhibit the hope strategy, which I call, and they'll never go in as hard talking about relationships. because they don't have the experience with the marriage. I think the guys that go through the divorce, they deal with the family court to an extent. They come from a way different perspective on, you know, what you can do when you get legally entangled with these women.
Hey,
Man, that's some new information. Shit.
I mean,
Damn, bro. Like, goddamn. If I married an attorney, bro, I'm really about to be on game tight with that. I'm gonna be like, hold on.
Hey,
Damn, man, he didn't have no type of game, bro.
man,
Damn.
but
what
listen,
I'm
bro.
saying.
Listen, that brother,
he got no pin, right?
that brother,
Where are you?
that brother's worth $800 million, man.
Golly, bro.
He could bring in some. Listen, they had a fire attorney at death row, David Kenner. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He was raw. But
Right.
and so when you got money, you could get somebody to come in to compete with your wife, but you got to have the mindset to accept that she is your enemy now. He probably still hadn't accepted that. Once a woman decides that she's going to declare war on you,
Oh,
you have to view her as an enemy once she declares war on you, man.
I was gonna say, unpack that, man. That's some cold game. You got to look at her as an enemy, man. That's cold.
Yeah, she the opposition.
Yeah, man. It's serious like that, man. And so, you know, when I look at a brother like CGA, man, and I say, man, bro, a lot of brothers come out the back end of that thing, man, and they never recover. Mentally and emotionally, they never recover.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you look at Lawrence, hell, LDA is here, man, and he's been through the fire a couple of times, still sitting here, man, still talking man talk. There's a lot of men, man, that, listen, bro, I see miscreants all the time. And I often wonder, are they suffering like this? Have they given up because they lost everything in a divorce? And you'd be surprised how many of those guys are. Those guys you see on the corner with a bottle and a bag. You know, some of these guys, man, I met a guy, man, who was a captain in the Navy, bro. This cat was a homeless wino, man. Wife left him, man, took everything, left him for his best friend, man.
Jesus.
Well, some of the dirtiest things that are done to men and women, to be honest with you, are people that have slept in your bed and that you had peace with. All right. And they've done some of the dirtiest, grimiest. I mean, took your money, took your soul. And this is what people have to understand. Sometimes you think your enemy is across the street. You think your enemy's wearing a different color flag. You think your enemy is another race.
She's sleeping right
But
next
you
to you.
guys sleep with enemies. You sleep with your terrorists for at least 5-10 years. And you legally, here's the deal. When you legally entangle with her, she becomes an agent of the state. Okay. They're already agents of the state, but you make an agreement with the state and her. That's what a marriage is. Even if you do a private ceremony, I once met with an attorney and I said, you know what? Hey, we didn't even get married in this country. We did a ceremony in Fiji. And they were like, so what? You can do a whole cultural, you can marry to the sun god. And as long as it's in the state of California, they're going to consider it a marriage. If your neighbor said, yeah, I understood them to be husband and wife, it's a marriage. Yeah. So this is what guys have to understand. You can try to get around it all you want, but you have to protect yourself legally because this is a business agreement. It is not a marriage of love. It is not an emotional decision. It is not before God. None of that matters when you walk into court and say irreconcilable differences. None of that matters. And not only that, they're never going to ask Dr. Dre, do you love her still? They're never going to ask Nicole Young, do you love him still? They're going to say, break out the books. Let's start slicing the pie up. That's all they're going to do.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, California is not Mississippi. In California, when she files, it's over when she files in California, man.
Yep.
And she doesn't have to prove anything. And that's why, you know, with irreconcilable differences, you don't have to prove anything.
Nothing.
I can't get along with him anymore. I don't think this can be salvaged. Bam. Now there you go in court, man, trying to fight for your rights, man.
Yep.
It's crazy, man.
Hey, I want to tap into something that BOA was saying as far as like, you know, the type of moves that Dr. Dre was making and all that. But we also got to tap into.
Shout out to the killer for the super chat. Appreciate that. Real quick, he said this is the Wakanda version of Avengers. You already know, bro. This is an epic panel, bro. Like it's not even big names. It's just the level of game that's on this panel, bro.
We just talking like LDA like to say.
Only 30 minutes in.
Let's go. We just talking, man. So what I want to point out is like the moves that he's making and all that. You know what I mean? The way I look at it is the problem that he has, a lot of dudes have nowadays, a lot of young black men especially, is the fact that not only do they not have a male role model, they don't have a man role model. You know what I'm saying? First of all, you not have a man a male in your life, period. And I believe that's the way Dr. Dre was raised. I don't know if he was raised with his father or anything like that. it's hard to know what to do when you've never actually seen it in real life. You know what I mean? I was fortunate to grow up with my pops, you know what I mean? He's still alive today and all that. And like I said in another panel, my father never sat me down and taught me lessons. I learned it from watching, from observing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so to not have a model to observe, even though, and I brought this up to some of my coworkers at my job who were like 22, 23. I said, the fact that you guys don't have no role models, the difference between yourself and myself is that even if I didn't have my pops, at least maybe I had an example on TV where they had the Cosby Show, you know what I'm saying? Or they had other family shows, you know what I'm saying, where they showed a husband, a wife, kids, and all that, you know what I mean? Nowadays, you don't have that. Music promoted that, you know what I'm saying? Little things like that. So not having that man role model, Dr. Dre and all these other boys do not know what to do. You know what they go off of or what they learn from? Movies, music videos. That's why nowadays when people have when people have relationships, if there's no beef, if there's no drama, they feel like something's wrong. Because the relationship that they do see is love and hip hop. And love and hip hop, all you see is people fighting and doing XYZ. The other thing I wanted to say was just to ask the panel. Now, I mean, Dr. Dre's worth $800 million, right? They've been married 24 years. Now, I by far do not believe that she deserves $400 million, which is half of that. But in your opinion, I go around the panel. How much do you think she should get out of that 800 million? Or what percentage do you think she should get
Shit,
of
like,
this asset?
Well, probably like 2 stacks. LDA, what you got to say, LDA? You know about this stuff, man. You done married, man. I want to hear you cook. You know about this stuff real well, man. You quit cutting slack, man, and beat them over the head with this game, man.
Man, you know, this the thing, man. Until you've been through it and come out of it, you never know how much it can do to a man. So I think BOA was looking that out. And until you realize how much it affects a man emotionally, financially, and spiritually, you never know. You never know. You never know the depths of it. What I will say with this whole situation, you're gonna see another side of Dre. Either he's going to go downhill, or he's going to build up out of this and be a better man and never go back down this road again. Because what happens is we have no enemies. One teacher taught me this. You have no enemies. You have no friends. You only have teachers. This is a teachable moment for Dre, but not only for Dre, but for everyone who's watching this. Anybody in the rap game or anybody who's not watching this, this is teaching you, if you're going to go down this path and get married, have your stuff in place. I don't care what you got to do to protect your assets not having your name. There's legal ways you can do where things are not your name. Now she gets that whatever how much she does. It's only way they will have to prove it, and most likely because she's a lawyer, she's going to try to rake him over the coals. Just call it what it is. That's the truth of the matter. Drake is going to be smart enough to get a lawyer that's going to protect his assets without draining his pockets.
Hey, yo, LDA, let me get a number though. Don't slip and slide now.
I'm not slipping and slide. I'm just being honest. I couldn't tell you a number. I just know I couldn't tell you an actual number. I couldn't give you an actual number, but I will say
2 stacks.
It's gonna be a lot of money.
2 bands, bro. That's it, bro.
I'm gonna get my answer at the end.
My take on it, man. My take on it is gonna be a little bit different, man. Because I'm a man. I believe like this. I go by the Michael Jordan model. Michael Jordan knew he didn't want to be one Nita Jordan anymore. He was worth $300 million, shot her $150 million, got rid of her, went and became a billionaire. If I'm Dre, I'm like, okay, I'm sitting down with my attorney. I'm like, man, what's the best we can do? Let's try to go ahead and settle that thing out of court. What's the best you think we can do? Let's make an offer. I'm trying to get this behind me, man. I don't want to spend no more time going back and forth with this woman, man, who obviously letting the world know, man, that she ain't rocking with me like that, man, and now she's trying to take me down through there. I have an opportunity to lose half of my fortune. I'm gonna start off at $100 million and see where we could go from there. And whatever we end up at, if we end up at half, okay, cool. I'm Dre. I got connections. I got plans. She gonna take this money and have that money. I got connections. I can take the other 400 million and turn it back into 800 million again. So my thing is, let's get this over as quickly as possible, bro, so you can move on with the next part of your life. And you start your negotiating at 100 million and see what you can get from that. If you end up giving half, if that's what you stuck on, man, she's an attorney, so you might be stuck on half. Man, just go ahead and give her the money, bro, and move on, man. You know what I'm saying? The longer you let this carry on, the more you're going to be affected emotionally, because you're going to have to watch this woman who swore to love you attack you every single time you're in that courtroom. You know what I'm saying? And to avoid the mental anguish that's going to pile up on top of the mental anguish that you already have, because you know divorce is always a surprise when a woman files. A woman is never going to tell you, now if we don't get this together, I'm going to file a divorce at the end of next year. Nah, you just realize, damn, you filed a divorce on me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, man, men are being, and it's just, you know, I won't say just divorces, but even with breakups in long-term relationships, a man will think everything is cool because him and the woman have sat down and discussed the things they need to do. For all we know, man, these people are already in marriage counseling. A woman don't give a damn about that. She'll go through the motions with you, but once she decides she gone, man. So you got to put your enemies behind me, man. She's right now. She's the enemy of your success, and you had to put those people behind you as quickly as possible, man.
Right. Shout out to Roaster Minnows, and that's one of his beats that I'm playing for the super chat. And shout out to King of LA. Hey, bro, we're not doing that over here tonight, bro. So you don't super chat shit like that. Excuse me. This is game that we giving you. We're not asking for no phone numbers, fam. Man, this is not the party line, bro.
Let me say something to the brother.
Boy, get him, BOA.
Don't you see how this woman in here calling BOA name, man?
Damn. Tell him, BOA. Come on, bro.
We're just talking about Dre taking Sadell Threet's wife. Now, here you are in here. Here's a woman calling BOA the whole time. And you talking about what's her number? What's her name? Where she live? Come on, bro. Come on. You got
it together, man. Stop,
you know, don't put yourself out there like that, bro. That ain't really, you know, that ain't up to par, man. Then you spend money to ask the question, bro. Come on, man.
Hey, in some fire game, even if she was available, you don't do stuff like that. That's not how you get them. You don't do it like that.
He needs a consultation fee.
What you think she gonna do? Say 661 and the rest? No way, bro. That's not how you do it anyway. Come on, guys, man. Y'all watch too much Red Pill content to be. Y'all need to know better strategies than that.
16. He might be like 16, 17. I'll be forgetting that sometime, man. Some of these dudes be mad young. But
bro.
What would you say, man? Just real quick. What would you 800 million, man? How much would you be willing to give to your ex-wife?
You ask me?
Nah, coach, you already said two.
Oh, me. Oh, yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna get my fans after.
this is look. I wouldn't want to give my ex-wife a dime. However,
I hear that.
The problem is for a guy who has. See, here's the deal. This is what I really honestly believe. This isn't about Dr. Dre. This is about all of us. Okay. This is about Steph Curry. This is about the men who are going to face this in the future. Jay-Z potentially, because this is going to be a lesson for just about everybody. She's going to get whatever she gets from him. She could take 38% like Mackenzie Bezos did, and then donate the taxable money to a charity and then just skirt the taxes, which would be no big deal. However, this is a lesson for not Dr. Dre. This is a lesson for every man out here. You got potentially, and for the guys, Dr. Dre did not have 800 million when he married her. He had a few $1 million, like someone said a little bit earlier. However, you as a young man, you're watching right now, and you're like, well, I'm broke right now. I'll go ahead and marry this woman. I don't need a prenup, okay? You don't know if you're going to become Jeff Bezos or Dr. Dre at any particular point. So a prenup, and you're a plumber right now, or you're in college right now, a prenup is still effective if you want to go down this aisle. But in terms of what she deserves, she doesn't deserve anything, but she's going to get it. She's going to get $450 million if it comes down to that.
Yeah, man.
And you guys got to understand. I don't know, my brother LGA. He's been through the process. They have what they call a forensic accountant. Okay, his job is to dig up every single dollar that Dr. Dre has, everything that's been hidden, and these guys make about $1,000 an hour. Now, Dr. Dre can cut the deal at $450 million and walk away. Or he can he can fight it, still pay $450 million and lose $100 million trying to fight her.
Exactly.
That's how the divorce works. And not only that, he'll have to pay her attorney's fees on top of that.
Talk to him, Greg. Talk to him, man.
Let him cut the deal, like the BOA said. Cut the deal. Get rid of her, because otherwise it's going to cost you 60-70% of your money. There's a guy named Hulk Hogan. I grew up in the 1980s.
I'm a wrestling fan. Unpack it. Let's go.
Hulk Hogan gave up 68% of his current money, his properties, and then his future money. Fighting that money, fighting that woman. He fought that woman, and he gave up future money on a name that he went out there and leg dropped women on. I mean, wrestlers on. He was blowing his back out, his own black back out.
Right. So, trying to pay her off.
Greg, the wrestling is real. I actually got a wrestling channel, so I'm really
okay. Yeah. I grew up watching 80s and 90s wrestling. So when I listened to and I read Hulk Hogan's book, and listen, we were talking about the men who go through this divorce. You guys, it was the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life, this divorce. It took 18 months and it got drug out. Listen, Hulk Hogan put a gun to his head and was thinking about ending it.
Wow.
If that don't tell you anything, if
man.
this isn't telling you young brothers anything about how serious this is, you guys got to really put this in perspective. When it goes bad, you have zero advantage. Zero advantage in this. You got no control. So you guys better be ready for this. Buckle up. And with the divorce rate, what it is right now, you're more than likely going to get divorced than you are going to stay together. And if you stay together, you're going to be a cuck. That's the bottom line.
Cuck. Yeah. Let me say one thing real quick, and I see BOA. I'm gonna pass it to you. The one thing I want to say, guys, is like me personally, the reason why I'm expo level fire game with the chicks is because I learn from other people's experience. I got my ego in check. See, guys be thinking that ain't me. Like I remember, I was talking about this yesterday. Like I remember dating this chick, right? And I was like 20 years old, and so mind you, I was sleeping with other chicks. I'm young. I'm like 20. That's what people do. Well, that's what I was doing. I mean, I'm gonna speak for everybody else, but I remember that she was in the hospital for some stuff, and she introduced me to the dude she was smashing. She told me it was her cousin. So I'm sitting here chopping it up with him, not even knowing, bro. And then when I found that out, I said, oh, hold on, bro. Wait a minute. So I'm just telling you guys, like, learn from this experience. It's like you guys be like, oh, wow, oh, wait. And then you think it can't happen to you, bro. It can happen to you. It don't matter how much money you have. It don't matter how much game you have. It don't matter how much fire sex you have. Bro, women are emotional, bro, and emotions can change like that. They can change just in a snap, bro. Like, I'm telling you, bro, like, you got to watch a woman's actions. You have to watch a woman's actions. And that's the problem that men have, is they listen too much to what the women say. They listen to the words. But I thought you loved me. Well, yeah, she said she loved you in March, but she ain't been showing she loved you in 3 months, fam. Check your ego, bro. It can happen to you too.
Well, the guys that go with the I thought you loved me. See, you met her on her level. You got to understand, you're dealing with, they call them children with breasts. You can't meet her on her level. You always have to maintain the level of control, the level of logic, the level of reasoning. If you meet her on her level, then she dictates the rules. Then she gets to change the rules and change the relationship immediately. Well, I don't love you no more, so the relationship's over. Well, you messed up. All right. You have to always be in the logical position. Now, guys, listen, I didn't start off like this. I had to learn the hard way to do it like this. Now, when you play this game, I'm going to tell you right now, I tell my guys, you'll eliminate 90% of the women right off the bat. Okay. You'll eliminate the bull crap. Women won't deal with you because they know what the game is. And you'll have a small percentage of women that are willing to do this. But most women know that that's not their advantage. So they're going to play the game where you fall in love, you give up your financial resources, your financial future, all for their used up peace leave. And Dr. Dre found out. NBA player was banging it around, right? But here,
I didn't even know she was an attorney and stuff. That to me, that changed the whole thing. Like, just see, like me, when I deal with chicks like that, it'd be like, oh, she's one of those. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you pay attention to women, let me turn my camera back on. If you pay attention to women, all you see is patterns, bro.
Patterns.
It's patterns, bro. You don't
Gotta pay attention.
You know, like when I meet a chick and she tells me certain things, I just be like, oh, this is story A, B, level 1.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got chicks, you got women who would complain about their baby daddies, or you got women who are always like, you ever wonder how you date a woman and then you can talk to her in January and you say, hey, how you doing? Oh, my boss is hating on me at work. Oh, okay, I ain't going to hear that. Then you hit her up in February. Hey, what's up? How you doing? All you want to hear is fine. How you? All you want to hear is fine. How are you? But you notice every time you ask her, it's just, oh,
got something going on.
My daddy did this. Right. Oh, my sister was taking my clothes. And see, you see, your ego's not in check because you're thinking, oh, you're just catching her at bad times. No, some women are addicted to drama, fam.
That's true.
And you know, man, I look at it like this, man. You know, there's a thing I like to call the 3-ship principle. You know, when Columbus set sail to what was the West Indies, because the food didn't discover America, but we ain't gonna talk about that. He set sail with three ships: the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. There's 3 ships that matter in a man's life: relationships, championships, and ownership. Now, what happens in a relationship is you enter into it, and you as a man believe that marriage is the beginning of the relationship. In the woman's mind, marriage is the end of the relationship and the beginning of the ownership. And what men don't understand is that when you say I do and you take those vows, you are telling that woman, I do agree to submit myself to your ownership. I will go work my fingers to the bone to give you the house that you want, to give you the car that you want, to put the children and to put your children, we'll unbox that in a minute, to put your children in the private school that you want them to go to. Now, this is what I'm doing because this is my quote unquote responsibility, not as a man, but as a husband. And men don't understand that the woman has checked out of the giving part of the relationship a long time ago. Now, are there exceptions to the rule? Of course there are. You know, none of these things are fail safe and foolproof. There's always exceptions to the rule, but we're not talking about exceptions here. We're talking about the norm. And the norm is when you enter into that scenario, it gives a woman a different confidence. It's almost like in her mind, oh, I got him now. And believe me, Dre is finding out right now. Oh, she got him now.
Got his ass. Shout out to Owen for the super chat. Appreciate you, bro.
Hey, dudes need to realize, man, females' emotions are fleeting. Fleeting means they last very, very short. It's very expedient. So what dudes also need to realize is what I like to emphasize, the hardest part for males to understand female nature is that even when they believe they understand it, they're still seeing it through the lens of a male. What I'm saying is you got to take yourself out yourself and put yourself in the female shoes. So, for example, when I say emotions are fleeting, like as a man or as a male, whatever, I would hope that when you say I love you, like that's a deep thing to say to somebody. Like you really feel that on the inside. But for a female to say that, she might mean it at that moment.
Boom.
I'm not even saying she's lying about how she's feeling. What I'm saying is she feels that at 11:59 on the Eastern Standard Time. She feels that right now. So because she said I love you and you're my world. I will do anything you want today. You think she still means that next Thursday? Because if you said that you would have meant that forever. When you say I do, and until death do us part, like as a man, you mean that. To her, she feels like that for that day. So
RPC, you know what the problem is? Guys think there's a relationship equity, fam.
Yes.
There is no relationship equity with a woman, bro.
I'm gonna let you unpack that, man. I can unpack
it. It don't matter, bro. Like you look at the shit. See, men, it take us longer to live. It take us longer to love, and that's why we love harder, bro. It takes us longer to love, but we love harder because we look at love like, well, she did this, this, and that, so that makes her my down girl. You know, man, she held me down when I was in jail. She bought me my Jordan. She brought me my Hennessy and all this type of stuff like that. And you know what? So let me just rock with her like that. But the woman, it's always, what have you done for me lately, bro? shout out to my cousin. My cousin taught me this lesson at like 20 years old. And if you listen and put a fire sign, if you secret watching, this is how he taught me this lesson. Coach Uncle, this is how he taught me this. He taught me this, but he didn't teach me this. He taught me this by watching him. So I remember he bought, you remember back in the days how they used to have the car auctions, $9.99, $99. We got all the cars. So we went, and then he got her a brand new Honda Accord, right? So I'm like, damn, that was big. And they married and stuff now. But the point of it is so he bought her this car on a Saturday, and by that Tuesday they got into a fight, and then it was a big fight, and I was like, wait a minute, but he just bought her a fucking car. Excuse me, he just bought her a car like a week ago, and she's tripping off some regular stuff. So that made me like, wait a minute, if I'm gonna put out, I might as well just do whatever I want to do.
Exactly.
I might as well just do whatever I want to do, because the woman ain't never gonna be satisfied. Because I'm just thinking to myself, like, damn, bro, like I'm talking about like in the week, like I'm not talking about he bought her a car.
What that mean?
You talking about some regular? You left the toilet seat up, like, lady, you got a car. So that
was last week. What are you talking about?
And the thing is, me and him never talked about it, but I just, and that's what I told y'all earlier, like, learn from other people. So I said, hell no. If he bought her a car and she's tripping off of the toilet seat, what am I doing what am I doing with the rose petals and all that? No, I'm not gonna do that, because at any time she can flip it on me. So let me just do what I want to do. If I want a woman to complain, she gonna complain about I ain't spending enough time with her and stuff like that. Let that be the problem. You ain't spending enough time with me. You ain't not, you know what I'm saying? If I'm investing like that, because you think as a man, like, oh, well, I did this, so now it's all good. She gonna be loving me forever. Yep. Don't go like that, man.
Nah. Well, you know, man,
a lot of
go ahead, G. Go ahead.
A lot of married men have found that out the hard way. They paid out their wives' student loans. They worked hard for it. They paid it off for over a 5 or 10-year period. They paid off their breast implants, their tummy tucks. They paid off, and what I call that is they inadvertently raised their sexual marketplace value. Okay, and then once that house is paid off, that debt is paid off, she's like, all right, I don't need him now. Okay, he basically gave me freedom. He freed me to be able to put myself in a better position. Same thing as your uncle buying that car for her. She saw that as an opportunity to get out of the relationship. She no longer needs him. He's indebted to her, but at that point now he's basically gave her an opportunity to better herself and put herself in a better position to find another guy.
Yeah, my ego's in check. I never think that ain't gonna be me. I think, oh, okay, that's what time it is.
Uh-oh.
I swear, bro, I live by a theory. You know, you say 3 strikes you out. I may make a mistake once, then the See, that's what I'm saying, and that's what I always talk. Like, you know, on the platform and YouTube and Red Pill and all that. Like, everybody don't have to hit just rock bottom. Like, I just learned from that. Like, I didn't have to like fail 20 times to have a wake up call. Like, something happened, it's like, oh, wait a minute, then it happened again. Let me change it. Even just approaching women. Like, if I approach a woman, like one of the things that I learned early on in life, is about the girlfriend thing. Like, see, I'm a guy who always had a lot of chicks, and that, I mean, it's just facts. But where I learned my lesson was I used to do my game like How to Be a Player. If y'all seen How to Be a Player, I used to like have a rotation, and then I got the special one. Oh, that's the girl, so I gotta like, oh, these other girls ain't nothing.
I got you.
But my girlfriend, oh, I want to listen to all your problems. Oh, your mama did this. Oh, let's talk to me about it. And you know what I'm saying? And then I got to a point where it's like, wait a minute. How come all the girls who I don't care about do everything I say and I won't, but the one who I'm invested in with the most give me the pushback? And once I figured that out, as a teenager, it didn't take me long. Once I figured that out, like, wait a minute, bro. Like, I'm sitting up. It's like, oh, I got the chicks, but then the girlfriend, I'm treating her, oh, that's wifey, you know, the term, that's wifey. So I got to make sure I keep her happy. Once I figured out that wasn't the formula, oh, it was game over now then, baby. It was game over now.
You know, here's one of the things, bro. Here's one of the things men have to understand. And You know, when I have consultations with men, I tell them all the time, man, there are men who, you know, they sitting on big money, man. They're great providers, man, but they don't understand they're beta male providers. Here's the thing about upgrading a woman, man. When you upgrade a woman, you don't just upgrade her, you upgrade her away from yourself.
Boom! Come on now.
Because if you accept a woman at 400 pounds and you help her lose weight and now she's 150 looking good, she don't want a man who will accept a woman at 400 pounds. She wants the guys who are now giving her attention who didn't give her attention before.
Yes.
And the fact that you were one of those guys and compromise yourself is what causes these issues with men. You got to look at some of the songs women like, man. One of the most popular songs in 1986, man, Janet Jackson off her Control album, What Have You Done For Me Lately?
Boom.
You listen to the lyrics of that song and you realize that this man is doing everything for this woman, but she don't care what he did last week. What have you done for me lately? Women love that because they don't love it because it sounds good. They love it because it says what they think, what they feel. And I've listened to ever since I can recall, I've always paid attention to songs and books that women flock to.
Yep.
Whatever it is, they flock to things that resonate with how they feel. And we know they function on feelings because they don't think that much.
Hey, yo, what's that song about Cindy Lauper?
They feel a whole lot, but they don't do a whole lot of thinking, man.
Hey, yo, what's that song about Cindy Lauper, man? Back in the 80s or whatever it was. Anybody
Hey, BOA. Hey, sometimes I will strategically put songs on to see just how the chick's feeling it. And I just sit back like, see, that's another thing. You guys need to learn to shut the F up and just watch. So I just sit back like, oh, you like that song? Oh, you feeling that one, huh? Okay. And just sit back like, oh, okay. Because if she feeling it that much, that means that's her ideology right there, bro. Right. It's not just the beat in the melody. That's her ideology of how she feels. It's like, I got my own car. If they getting all hubbed, that's how they feel, bro. They relate to it.
Hey, like I said before, that song I referred to, Cindy Lauper, man, girls just want to have fun. You don't understand that part right there. Like it took me to become an adult to understand like that's a fact. She was singing that for a reason. Girls really just want to have fun. But Afi brought up something before when he said that, you know, chicks have a pattern, you know what I'm saying? But what I be telling Afi that I don't think he's gotten yet is that there's a difference between being intelligent and being highly intelligent. All right?
Right.
The mark of intelligence is being able to see patterns and sequences and so on and so forth. So that's one mark. The second mark I want to point out is the fact that in order to see patterns and sequences, you have to have a certain number of trials, right? In order to see the pattern. But these dudes, these young boys, these males are too busy playing video games all day, every day, watching TV all day, every day, watching the porn all day. That's okay. This is a side note. Let me just say this real quick, and I've never said this. I'm not a dude that plays my baloney pony, right? That's not something not to say that I've never done, but that's not something I do. But to find out there's so many males out here constantly playing with their joints all day to the point where it's an addiction, that joint is Chinese to me. Now imagine that. I said video games and TV and all that. Imagine a dude stuck on the porn, and he's letting go of his life fluids for recreation. How are you ever going to learn these sequences and patterns as we stated, if you're not actually having experiences with females? And when I say experiences, I don't mean smashing. I don't mean girlfriend. A conversation. Mm-hmm. When I was able to finally have a conversation with a female without what I like to say, have your baloney pony in your pocket. Once I learned how to have my baloney pony in my pocket, having a conversation with a female, game over. Game over. I could do whatever I want now. Like I say, now when I talk to them.
Yo, hold up, man.
What's good?
Dude called his. Yo, I've never heard anyone say the baloney pony, bro.
Yo, that's what I say.
Yo, I've never heard anyone say that.
You gotta say that for YouTube censor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
PG, not even PG-13, man. But once I learned how to keep that in my pocket and have a conversation, Now I can have a conversation with a chick where it's not, like I said, it's interview style, but it's not question style. I'm not asking her interviews like questions like an interview, but the conversation that I'm having with her, the content of the conversation is to see, do I even want to have another conversation with her? But the point I'm making is, too many males are not having enough experiences with females. When they talk to a female,
Facts.
it's always about, I need to get this number, or I need to find a way to smash, or this is the goal. Nah, yo, bro, just learn how to have a conversation with a group of females. How about that? If you
Facts.
have a conversation with a dolo, not with your man next to you, not with your
RPC, look at LD over there. LD, you out of gas. Look at you. You out of gas. Shout out to King Dre for the super chat. He said, "He was LD, you out of gas. You ain't got nothing tonight."
listen,
That's how you got. That's how you got LDA.
Uh-oh. Look at the super chat. Check the super chat again.
Steph,
That super chat, man.
Oh,
he ain't on
you. Shout out to Stephen Cole, my little brother, young boss king. He said, salute to everybody on the panel. That's my fucking guy right there. Stephen Cole, bro. I love you, bro.
Word. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, like I said, we just talked. Yo, so let me ask this question, man, to the panel, but more specifically to LDA and Coach Greg Adams. It's a very simple question. I've asked it before on another panel. But simply put, it's why should a male in America in 2020 moving forward get married? Let me pass that to LDA. I see you ready to answer that question. Go ahead, LDA.
Shout out to Luis for the super chat. He said, "Thanks for giving this real game." LDA, you ain't got no gas. You gave all your secrets over on another channel. You gave all your secrets. You done for the night. You thinking about your little young girl. That's all. You thinking about her so much. You thinking about your little 20-something-year-old so bad you ran out of gas or what? What's up?
Matter of fact, she's already there. What are you talking about? She's gonna just look at her. You just look at her. Got him. It's all good.
What's up, big bro? What you got to say, man?
I mean, that's a good question. In this time of age, it's for any man who willing to do that, to get married, you got to think about the consequences of getting married. A lot of times guys don't think, they're looking in from a lower nature, and they're thinking about, I'm going to be in love and that it's going to be happy ever after. They don't think about the consequences, and that this is actually, when it comes down to it, really, I think Coach Greg Adams said it, this is a business arrangement when you get down to the courts. So you got to think of all the scenarios on how it's going to, if this union, if you decide to get married, is it going to benefit you? And if you cannot see from one side, you put the benefits over here, and then you put the liabilities over here, and it don't add up, you need to think about not making that move. So in 2020, it is very wise and very unwise for a man not to make that move unless he's willing to forsake all and lose himself.
What you got to say, Coach?
I gotta say, look at the percentages of the woman that you're gonna get in 2020. See, a woman's is split up. Her energy is going to be split up in numerous different ways, different than it was in 1980, 1990, 1970. She's going to be dedicated to her boss, her employer, or whoever is paying those bills. She's going to be dedicated to her friends that she needs to go out and hang out with, and girls' nights out, and girls' nights trips. Those people are going to have priority over you. Now, her ex-boyfriends, depending on how old she is, if you're talking about a young girl, she might not have this extension of social network. But if she's a little bit older, you're gonna have to compete with time with these individuals, ex-boyfriends, ex-husbands, children produced by ex-boyfriends and ex-husbands. If she has child, you're gonna have to dice up that time based on that child. Not only that, if she's active on social media, you're gonna have to take the attention that she would have normally gave you, and then she share it with the world and everybody else that she's out there giving it to. Not only that, these women are dedicated to their families. They're not dedicated to the men that they marry. Now, if they have close relationships with their fathers and mothers and all of the monster-in-laws that you're going to get into, you got to share all of that with them. And here's the big one that you got to share with. You got to share with the state. And the state has her back at the end of the day. So now you're asking me in 2020, what are you getting? All right. Listen, as a man, you're only going to get 5% of your woman. 5% of your woman. And if that's what you want, young guys, if that's what you want, young fellas, and this is the person that you're going to entrust to not stab you in the back with the legal court system, to not take your child and run all over the country and make you chase it, which statistically is more likely to happen than it is to not happen, well, then go get married. If that's what you want to accept as a possibility, go ahead and do it. If you don't want any parts of that, then you might want to wise up real quick and not even invest in that type of relationship. Women want marriages. They don't want to be wives.
Church.
So you have to understand that going in. They want to be married to you. They want the title, but they're not going to produce anything for you. And for the guys who want to have kids and they believe that marriages are the best way to have kids, they are. However, most people raise their children right now in co-parent and custodial time, all diced up, supervised visits. You men today, even if you are stayed married, you have very little input on how your children are raised. You got to compete with the court. Guys, it's not the time to play games. All right. You guys got to understand what you're getting into. And if you don't back it up with the business end of the contract, you're doomed.
Hey.
Facts. Let me say something real quick. Shout out to Nick for the super chat. He says the quality is very low nowadays, and they're too influenced by social media, and they're equally messy friends. So thank you for the super chat. What I want to say real quick is this, and I'm gonna pass it. You gotta understand, bro. A lot of women just live for the validation of being married. They don't think about the wife part. They fantasize about what color dress they gonna have on, where it's gonna be, how the ring gonna look, and all that kind of jive stuff like that. They don't even, they don't even think about the wife part. Like they don't think about, I gotta hold this guy down. Ooh, what if he loses? You don't ever hear that. They just talk about the wedding part. It's like the goal is not to be your wife. It's just to be married, fam. Pay attention to this stuff. Start asking the women the right questions because you can kind of tell where their narrative is when you talk to them. See, the problem is you're not asking the right questions. You just listening and reacting.
Hey, let me say this, man. I believe that women or females in general, they want two things to happen in their life. They want to at least be a mother and at least be a bride. You know what I'm saying? Because I realize that's kind of like something that females hold over each other. Like a chick can be older than another one. But if the older chick doesn't have a child, the younger one will be like, wait, what you telling me? At least I got 2 kids and whatever. But anyway, to bring out what I want to say is fellas need to understand how important attention is to females. That is their sustenance. I've read somewhere where if a female goes 72 hours without attention, she may become suicidal. Okay.
Jeez, I never heard that one.
72 or 3 days. If she goes 3 days without attention from a male, females, or anything like that, no type of validation, she will become suicidal, right? So I want to emphasize what Afi just said, and that's the fact that dudes also need to understand that females are working towards becoming a bride, not a wife.
Boom.
A bride is for the ceremony, for a day, not for a lifetime, like the vows say. Now, what did I start off by saying? That females love attention. That is their sustenance. What is a wedding? Is it yah day? Is it for the bride and the husband and the groom? No. If anything, it's 10% of the groom and 90% for the female, for the bride. And that's what females strive for. Females strive to be able to say, hey, look, I'm engaged now. Look at my ring. Look at what he got me. Look how big the ring is. They ain't striving to say, look, I cooked with my husband today. I gave him a back rub and ran him. They not living for that. So
RPC, you just dropped me a bomb that you didn't even know you dropped. You ready for this?
What up?
Let me say this, bro. You got to study a woman, fam. Women who live for validation for others are not wifey material, guys. They're not wifey material, bro.
Right?
Because you're not even in control of your relationship. The validation from other people is in control of your relationship.
Yes. What I was gonna say is emphasize the fact that dudes need to realize in this day and age, we're not talking about our parents who's you know what I'm saying, who got married in the 70s and all that. In this day and age, marriage is, and y'all could let me know if I'm wrong or not. but marriage is a business. Unless I'm gaining something, let me say that differently. Marriage is not about love no more. It's not about why I love her so much. And let me, yo, I would have
So
gotten married, man. Listen, I would have gotten married in my late 20s. You know why I would have married my long-term relationship? My
Why?
reason for marrying her would be, yo, we used to get like 8 years. You know, she kind of stuck with me through med school and residency. You know what? Let me
But what?
yeah, just let me just give her a ring. Not, oh, I'm so in love with her and she's my world. And it was on some like, you know what? She was with me through med school. I'm about to make some bread as a doctor. Like, I can't trust no chick after her. This is me sleeping with the enemy. Not thinking that the chick I've been with for 8 years, we've been rocking through med school, pharmacy school, and all that. And that's what I'm saying. I've been in them shoes where I was sleeping with the enemy, man. Like I've said before, where I would have a midterm. All the month before that, the week before that, everything good. The day before the midterm, argument. I'm like, yo, babe, listen, man, can we talk about this tomorrow after I take my midterm? Like, I really gotta. No, now's the time. It's like, yo,
hey, Red Pill, let me say this. Hey, Red Pill, let me say this. One of the key things, and I think we could say we can't say that a large percentage of women are not there to be marriage material. But I will say on this flip side, we have a responsibility, but we have a responsibility on what woman that we bring into our world.
I agree.
Every woman does not deserve to be in my world or even to be walking down the aisle. So, and before she even gets to that point, I'm already vetting her with certain questions or whatever else I'm watching. Because you think about it, she has to offer some kind of a level of value to me. And I think even when I look at my own personal life, when I was looking from a point of a value from my lower nature and not from my higher nature.
Unpack that. I don't think they got that.
So when I looked at from my lower nature, I was looking, I'm going to get sex all the time, which okay, great. But what the real thing I missed was, because I'm going to be very transparent here, I miss how does this woman, after we get married, what's going to happen next? I did not answer that question. I did not solve that problem. I never looked on what, no one taught me or showed me the characteristics I need to have of a good wife. And what happens is I went into it already failing because I was ill prepared. Now, even inside of the marriage, I still failed because I did not keep, for lack of better terms, I did not keep the foot on the gas with her.
Hey, so LD, I got a question for you too when you finish.
So I didn't keep the foot on the gas. So I have to look. Yes, I look at what's out there, but I had to look what quality of woman was I attracting? What kind of woman was I bringing in? And so a lot of it, I look at the women too, but I also look at I need to adjust what I was doing too. So it's a two-way street here. Yeah, go ahead.
LD, I want to ask you this and just be totally transparent with this, bro. Because, it happened and it didn't happen. So I want to know, when you got married, was it more or less because of your principles, because you have a church background and your family background, or was it the woman? Was it your principles that put you to that point, or was it the woman actually? Did you meet the woman and you were just like, she's special, or was it because, the church stuff where you're just like, this is what I'm supposed to do? That's what I want to know from you.
You want to answer that, Coach Greg Adams?
Yeah.
But I think that's a good question. That's a good question.
You ain't off the hook. You gonna answer it, bro. Go ahead.
You don't want to answer it,
Coach. Go ahead.
That's a good question.
That one fast.
as you were asking, and I said that's a damn good question. I think for me, it was a timing of the principles working out. I think it was more of that, and I found a person who was agreeable with me. And to be honest with you, my marriage was great. I think it lasted just under 9 years. And for 8 years and 6 months, it was fantastic, right? You had your bumps in the road, but the last 6 months was like a damn tornado, right? So, but that's how it goes. But I think my principles were, I wanted a family. I didn't want to raise my kids, being a baby daddy and I didn't want that. And I was in a career field where in order to move up in your career, being married and having a family was a benefit. And I knew that. So that's a principle decision that I made. And I think if I was in a different career, maybe I wouldn't have made that decision. So yeah, I think that's what it was. It wasn't necessarily that I met this woman and she was so wonderful that I wanted to give her a ring. It was like, all right, I need this in my life. It would benefit me. And I found the right person that fit that model at the time.
All right, let me get in here, man. Let me get in here.
Go ahead, Dr. BOA.
Now,
you ain't not the hook, LDA. I ain't gonna forget about you.
I'm gonna take this thing, man. You know, I like to always bring in the biblical aspect, man. It kind of adds a little clarity to things sometimes. Now, technically speaking, during what we like to call biblical times, as if these times aren't biblical times, but we won't talk about that. When a man took a wife, she was a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. Nobody would go and marry a woman who had already been married to another man, or a woman who already had children by another man. Or most men who were of substance, of importance, of value, wanted a woman that hadn't been touched by anyone else before. So the problem in this society is that men are marrying women who aren't wives. The book of Proverbs doesn't say he who go and maketh a woman a wife findeth a good thing. It says he who findeth a wife. That don't mean who you marry. It means a woman who is equipped to be a wife. And the majority of men are not even vetting women to see that. You know, as men, man, we do, especially as brothers, we deal with a lot in this society, a lot of adversity at every corner. So just to have a woman on your team who seems to be on your side, who seems to want the best for you, who seems to want to see the things that you want to see through to fruition, it means a lot to us as men. But the one thing we always have to understand is that with women, everything has to be a fantasy for them. Once it becomes a reality, they don't want it anymore. So as long as they're on that fantasy trip, to where, you know, the wedding is a fantasy. Every woman dreams about it. There's a little girl, she dreams about it. They don't care about the wedding. It's just answering a fantasy that they've always had. It means absolutely nothing to them. They don't care about the expense of it, as long as they don't have to spend the money. They don't care about messing it up. They don't care about being our bridezilla. They care absolutely nothing about it. And the only reason the man needs to be there, because somebody got to give her the ring at the end of the aisle. You know, if she could just walk down with her own ring, she'd say she don't need no groom. She just wants to do it for herself. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, man, that I'll add to this, man, is this. In this day and age, to marry a woman means that you're going to reward her for the things that you've already gotten. Because women don't hold nothing back anymore. When you're in a relationship with her, she gives you the best. She gives you everything she's got. So the purpose of you marrying her is to look at her and say, because you've given me all of these things, or because I don't want to lose all of these things, or because you're more important to me than my freedom is, I'm going to give you this ring and let you lock me down. Now, when RPC was talking, I want y'all to recall this. Whenever he spoke about love, he spoke about it wasn't because I loved her. He never said it wasn't because she loved me, because subconsciously, we already know women don't love us. They love what we provide. They love the fantasy that we can give them. And once the fantasy's over, let me tell you something about men. Men love. Once you love a woman, you in love with a woman, you never stop loving her. You may fall out of love with her, but you never stop loving her, even when you tell yourself you hate her. Women go straight enemy mode on you at the drop of a hat and try to destroy you. That woman is taking Dre to court trying to destroy him. If the law says she could get 100% of his money, how many women you think are turned down 100% of your money if they can get all of it?
Yeah.
Man, we living in a society where, honestly, brothers, we shouldn't even be asking ourselves this question anymore. Every man should say no when it comes to marriage now. If any man could tell me one benefit to it, we thought it took to raise our children, but hell, the majority of us are raising our children in, like Greg said, man, co-parenting situations now. Split custody. Got to go fight for custody. What's the benefit? Women don't hold back on sex anymore. They give you sex the first night and then still want you to marry them. So, you know, there's absolutely nothing to gain from it. If you could tell me one thing to gain from it, I can build off one thing. But when there's absolutely nothing to gain from something, it's a fool's move to even consider it.
Fire game. Let's go.
Well, the one thing I want to add to that is, I think, RPC was talking about the fact that the love involved with marriages. And what people forget is there was a time where that wasn't even important. It was more arranged marriages.
Yes.
Are more common. They're the most successful in terms of lasting. You made an arrangement with families to have a wife in order to build a family, build a community, have a farm if you were in agriculture, whatever it was. And you got families together that unified. Now you don't have that. You have somewhere in the 1900s, the early 1900s, the idea of romantic love superseded all. And now we make this financial decision that used to be a community and a family decision, and we make it solely on an emotional, romantic love basis. And that's not where success in marriages are. See, when the love ends on the woman's side, the marriage is over. Most of the time, you had still a marriage if the romance was gone. But in today's world, it's all romance or nothing else. Of course, when the finance ends as well, they're gone as well. So what we have to maybe go back to for men to consider it is to understand arrangements might be better. Even if you look at elite people in society today, even when they go through divorces, and you could say Dr. Dre's situation where he's elite, most of these marriages are arranged anyway. You look at some of these white wealthy couples and all of this stuff, and you're like, oh, I know they fighting. Well, listen, yeah, their families are fighting. They're not fighting. All right. They already have their business arrangement already set up. We have to get to the point, especially in the community, because everybody in here is a black people. We have to look at the idea of our families uniting for marriage purposes, as opposed to women selecting a mate. Because if you notice, when women got in charge of selecting their mate and taking the family and the men out of it, the success rate of relationships took a nosedive. Right? And you combine that with feminism in the family court, with the incentives of them divorcing you and not staying with you, it's been a disaster when you encounter the romantic idea of relationships being where it's successful. Most people, you guys, if you've never been married, you stop boning your wife after a long time. All right. You just stop outright. You just not attracted to her.
Tell him, coach.
Blemishes are. She stopped washing her peace sleeve. I mean, you stop. Listen, you lose attractiveness.
Heat up.
But your
hey, bro. Did you say she stopped?
BOA just caught it.
Yo, did you say she stopped washing her peace sleeve, bro?
You get in bed, hey, you get in bed with her,
just caught it,
and then she want to throw that unwashed peace sleeve over on you, and you like, bro.
Wow.
Hey, if you never been married, you ain't never been there, bro. She don't even get ready for you. Just down there looking prickly like a porcupine down there, and you like, bro, go get in the shower and shave that damn thing out. Listen, that's marriage.
Yo.
He's telling the honest. He's telling the honest.
Hey, did you still gotta answer the question too?
Yeah.
He's telling the honest to God truth, man. I kid you not. It's like they forget that they are married to you.
Yes.
I had to tell her, what are you wearing to bed?
Mm-hmm.
What are you wearing to bed? So I had to remind her, this is something that we need to maintain.
Right. Nah,
that wasn't happening. That was not happening. So I had to say, hey, what did you cook? Everything was, because what happened is once you get married, they feel that they have you.
Yeah.
And they need to do more work to keep you.
Oh,
yo, you know what that sounds like to me, man? It sounds like she just stopped caring, bro.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't have to care. She doesn't have to care. She doesn't have to care. Listen, but there were times I used to call them the Target pajamas, because they were pajamas, the baggy pajamas, and they had Target symbols on them. And I used to tell my wife at the time. I said, I knew I wasn't getting none when you wore those Target pajamas to bed.
Oh man,
I knew it was over. I knew there was no chance. And like he was saying, they feel like they can just roll over on you, give it to you where give it to you part ways. You're not excited to give it to you, and after a while, you lose the desire to even go there anymore. And then the little woman that's in your ear at work looks a little bit more attractive than the wife that's rolling over with you with funky breath and a funky piece trying to throw it on you. I'm telling you.
You why you in my business, man? Why you in my business?
Yeah. You already know.
Why you in my business?
In life.
Why you in my business? Let me say this. That's exactly what happened. The young girl at work leaves a note in my cubicle. I seen you today like you was working really hard. Here I have to go home, as he was saying, with your Target pajamas, and hear this young supple, healthy. Then she does another move. She takes a picture with her nude with just the basketball in front of her. What do I do?
You knock her down, LDA. You knock her down, man.
You ain't hesitate.
Hey, real quick, man. Let me just say this, because I'm about to heat up. Fellas, when you fall in love, you don't just marry the women. You marry all of her problems, all of her baggage, and all of her drama, bro. If you marry a chick, bro, and she's $78,000 in school debt, that's your debt.
They don't know that.
Quit thinking it's just I love you, you love me, and we're gonna be a happy family. No, bro. You gotta pre-qualify her baggage too. You have to. You gotta look. If she got a baby daddy, you gotta think about that. That's an imprint. That's a whole nother video. That's a whole nother thing, bro. Like she got like a baby daddy. If she got two baby daddies, bro, that's a whole thing, bro. You gotta realize this, bro. Like her family, bro. She don't know what kind of relationship you thinking you smashing her and she calling you daddy and all of that. So what, bro? If you marry her and her mama got stuff going on, that's your stepmother now, fool.
Oh, wow.
Note to the wise: she shouldn't have two baby daddies, brother.
Just in case y'all missed that.
She shouldn't have that.
Let me highlight the beta males real quick that's watching this, man. The beta males out there who's in a relationship with females. You got to understand what she's showing you is what I call false advertisement. I mean, especially if she already got like three kids by three. No, this is the way I like to say it. She has 3 kids by 4 different baby daddies because one of them thinks he's the daddy, but he's really not. But she still got him on child support. So she got 3 kids with 4 baby daddies, and but she calling you saying that you got the biggest she ever seen.
Ooh,
you're
the best
she ever had.
You never did it like this.
I mean, I'm trying to be PG. She's
RPC. You know how many times they done said that? Well, you know how many times. Look,
bro. I don't need a validation from no chick. You know what I'm saying? But
they repeat their little captions and stuff. Look at these chicks on Facebook and how they be. They be it. That I even told my ex like that. I'm like, hey, I just fucking with her. Like, hey, I wish I was you. She was like, why? I'm like, cause I want to figure out you got good luck because you have that high level of love every dude you date. How do you do it? I'm being sarcastic, right. But I told her that like if I date 10 chicks, I got to go through 10 chicks to be into one. So how is it that every guy you meet, you're like, oh, he is special. This is my other half. He is my best friend. You said that like 7 times already. Like, what is going on?
Well, this the thing. Like you were saying, you were talking to the beta dudes or whatever the case may be. The biggest thing is this: why deal with those type of women in the first place?
They don't know no better.
So they don't know any better. But the thing, and I completely agree. This is why you have the level of expertise that's on this panel to say, don't deal with those type of women. Deal with a woman that's in your best interest. Now we can debate even that, but at least get away from that. And I think a lot of guys don't know how to make choices, and they don't know how to choose the correct woman that's going to be in their life. No one has taught them that. So what they're doing, they're making choices off of what they've seen on TV, Fantasy Island. Remember, I'm going way back.
Right.
Love Boat, Love Boat.
That's my time.
Yeah, they Love Boat. They're going off of the Love and Hip Hop, the
Yeah,
A-Team, whatever the case may be. But the thing of it is, you got to learn how to choose correctly. And that there's I listen to BOA. I listen to Coach Adams. I listen to everybody on there. They're giving you the cheat code on what to avoid and how to step and to be first of all, to be a better man. That's the biggest thing.
How about to be a man first?
Yeah, be a man, but be a man and be a better man. But they're giving you the cheat code on how to navigate. You got over 100 years of experience sitting on this panel right now. I'm close to 100 years experience. I don't want to say close, but a lot of experience. But the point is,
more than that.
Yeah, about 70 worth of experience on here. Why not take advantage of that so that you can advance your life? We're trying to tell you how to avoid the pitfalls that are out there. I've been listening. I've been listening to BOA. He's running something going on the channel. Boom, 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 boom. Alpha Man do this. I'm like, wait a minute. He's giving you the cheat code. Pay attention. Pay attention. Most guys don't want to pay attention. They want to be entertained and not educated.
Well, the problem, one of the issues that I see that young men are making, because we're giving them all this information, they don't trust it. A lot of times they may come with, oh, these guys are bitter, hurt, they've been damaged or whatever. But the other end of it is they want the cheat code to get the woman in the bed right now.
Yeah.
That's what they want. What do I need to say to get her to lie down? And then they shoot first and they ask question later, right? Oh, but now she did this to me. Now she did that to me. And I said, I didn't told you to not go there. Did not tell you eliminate 90% of them, but you wanted to listen to this guy tell you what to say to her to get her in bed. Well, guess what? Most women are getting in bed. Like I think BOA said this. They getting in bed right away. All right. Nice. To not be able to get a woman to lie down with you, your game have to be real jacked up. All right?
Yeah, Coach Adams. Don't get no slack on them. I'm tired of them. Get on them.
So if you 16, 17, 18, and you still can't find a way to get it, you messed up. All right. I can't help you. But what we're trying to do is let you understand that your later lives are going to be affected by the decisions and the women that you sleep with right now. The decisions that you make. You want to bury your baloney pony into some used, dried up peace leaf that you've been throwing out to a whole bunch of different guys. Now, guess what? Now you working backwards. Now you see they call me, they counsel me, Coach, how do I get out of this problem? I say my channel is not to tell you how to get out of problems. It's to not get into the problem.
Exactly.
That's what my channel was about.
Exactly.
You want me to get you out of problems when I clearly said stop dating single mothers. That could have saved you right there. But now you want child support. How do I beat child support, Coach? Shouldn't have got on it.
Facts. And quit hitting the chicks raw too, because you hitting raw off the first night. She making you feel like it's your girlfriend and your wife and all of that, bro. And really, she nasty. You got to realize that. Sorry, my man. T, I got to use you as an example. You in the chat. I don't even want to say your full name, but this was last night, so it's fresh on my mind. And he was talking about how a girl that he was dating. If you want to shout in the chat and say it was you, that's cool. But he was talking about a girl he was dating and how she wanted him to hit it raw, and she was saying that she's allergic to condoms. And I told him last night, I said, bro, I learned that lesson in 1996, bro. That's the first time I ever hit some stuff raw is I had a virgin, and I was like, well, I ain't never had raw sex before. I want to know what it feel like, so I might as well hit a chick who never hit nobody else before. They've been running that I'm allergic to condoms game since the 90s, and that's just for me. We got some two OGs on here too, so it might have been since the 80s or 70s. That ain't nothing new. Oh man. Oh, I need sheepskin. I'm allergic to condoms. So you just gotta know, bro. So you mean to tell me that she's allergic to condoms, but she's not allergic to whatever you might be doing?
Man, she better put some Neosporin on that shit, man.
Hey, yo, real quick. I was thinking this today when I was driving to work, and that's the fact that, you got all these dudes asking you how you get a chick number, you know, how you get it, how do I get her back to the crib after going to the club, whatever. But my question is, all right, once you get her back to the crib and you got her in your bedroom, now what? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Dudes be forgetting that whole part. You got her in your room now. You got her in your layer. You know what I mean? But the fact that you believe that she's above your league, which shouldn't even be a phrase in your vocabulary, but because you believe that she's above your league, you are releasing before you put it in her.
That was a trap from keeping it 100. I didn't want to put you on blast.
No, man, look, after you bust that nut, it gets real fast. After you bust
Clarity.
that nut, it gets real. Now, all of her issues that she was able to disguise when you were stroking, now they become real apparent. Now, because you guys have been with women,
yes,
and she was cool, then
yes.
you busted, and now all of a sudden she got real crazy, and you like, wow. Damn, how come I didn't see that before? That's post-nut clarity. Okay, you were avoiding it because you didn't want to ask those hard questions. You just want that piping hot piece of peace leave, and you wanted to bust. Now you bust it, and everything starts being crystal clear.
And you know the weird thing, man, that I don't understand, and I view it like this, and I don't understand why the majority of men don't. She's not giving me a gift when she gives me sex. It's a mutual exchange. Like, what about what I'm giving? And you know, and we pride ourselves in not being minute men. We pride ourselves in at least. I always say, man, you know what I'm saying? The wood gonna be long enough, and it's gonna be strong enough for. I'm gonna last long enough, and the wood gonna be strong enough for any woman to get what she needs. So why are we acting like we getting a gift? It ain't like you could just every woman we meet, we just go in there, lay back, and kick back with our hand behind our head, and she just go to town. Of course, now you can get that, but how often is that the case? And so men continue to act like, man, like what we bring to the table is nothing. And I think that goes with sex, that goes with relationships, that certainly goes with marriage, that goes with any interaction we have with women. We seem to devalue ourselves, which in turn makes us overvalue them, man. And I think that's a simple thing. It seems like it's simple, but obviously it's not, because most men can't seem to get it right.
Because they're programmed to do otherwise, man. Hey, yo, real quick, I just wanted to point out I'm not gonna shout him out, but there's a dude in the chat. He had said something like, all I want is for my wife to be a 9. I'm like, yo, dude, this is the same dude acting crazy in the chat too. But I wanted to point out the fact that some of these dudes we talking about, they want a 9, they want a 10 and all that. But are you ready for your girl, your wife, that 9 and 10 to still garner all that attention she gets in the public? You ain't built like that. You too jealous. You're gonna be in the bathroom with your wife. Like, where you going? You going to the bathroom? All right, I'm coming with you. Because you got a 9 and 10.
Simple. Yeah, you're not ready for
high value dudes, and she gonna see high value dudes, but you're not built like that. So I say all that to say, yo, dude who said he wants a 9, be careful what you ask for, man.
Yeah, bro, you gotta have game to have 9s. That's what you think. You think you're just gonna get a fine chick, and then everybody's gonna be like, ooh, goo goo gaga, bro. Fine chicks have fives have a lot of options nowadays. Bro, if you got a 9, bro, you realize what kind of dudes is hitting her up in her DMs, bro. You gotta understand that, fam. You think it's a job, brother. I done had fine chicks. It's not that easy. It's not just.
I did a show on that. I said, a lot of 9s and 10s are you doing all the work. You doing all the shit. She acting like she doing you a favor. Because she got a lot of guys on the hook. Donovan Sharp always says they belong to community. All right. They don't belong to you. You never possessed it. You never possessed them. I always tell guys, if you're going to be around somewhere, go around the 6 and the 7 and make it a day. And just realize 6s and 7s today, these 6s and 7s today, they've been getting plowed through more than the 9s and 10s. To be honest. They get plowed through because in the 6s and 7s, they look at any guy, a 7, 8, or 9 or a 10 as a conquest. They achieve something. A woman that is a 9 or a 10, everybody 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 is a nobody to them. Right. So they don't have to give it up to that many people. And when they do give it up, it's usually a transactional type of relationship. You put her on the boat, you send her on the trip, You bought her a bag. Now, a 6 or a 7 and below, every man is a upgrade. So they're dealing with a vast majority of men. So their sexual performances are going to reflect that. A 9 or 10 is just going to lay there. I've been fooled and tricked and thought I was going to have the best nuts busted with a 9 or a 10, and it wasn't that one.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Talk about that.
Everybody else got that on the pen. I could if you want, man. Hey, real quick, these 9s and 10s, when these dudes smash these 9s and 10s, they're too afraid to grab their hair.
Yeah. Exactly right.
Because the time that I smashed a 9 or 10, well, I don't believe in 10s, but the time I smashed a bad bitch, I'm a bad chick, I'm looking like, what are you doing? Do something like, or when I grabbed her neck or grab her hair, she's looking at me like yo, I've never experienced that. I'm looking like, how you ain't never? So, fellas, you dudes aren't even scared to even smash chicks, man. That look this good, man.
Hey, RPC, just real quick, and Jason, no disrespect, bro, but just stop, bro.
That's him. That's what I was talking
about. Why we have problems? Yeah, you steadily talking to China, bro. This is we're giving you life-changing information right now, bro. Just say that for later, fam. That's the reason why we have problems, because you guys can't get your mind off sex, women. Bro, put that energy towards your purpose, and then you won't have to say nothing to women, bro. You won't have to say nothing. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just telling you, bro. You keep going. Just stop, bro. I'm teaching you a lesson, not through China, but just period. Like that energy, bro, is not gonna get you the chicks, fam.
Nope.
It's not gonna get you the chicks, fam.
It might get you the
you gotta focus on yourself, and then the women's focus on you. How can the women chase you if you chasing them, bro? Just stop, bro. Because I don't want to block you. I want you to listen, bro. But we giving you life-changing information, and you sitting here trying to this is not the party line, bro. This is not POF, man. Stop, bro. It's annoying me. I'm telling you, bro. Just stop. I'm sorry, bro, because it's like it's been going on this whole time, bro. Like, don't you hear what we saying? We giving you fire game, but you tell somebody that's cute, bro. That's the reason why we have problems, fam.
Sex.
Just sorry, bro. It's like because I'm
concerned about, man, is the box, man, the peace sleeve. It's like your fam. Yo, we've been giving everybody on this panel on their own individual channel.
Like, bro, we've been on here an hour and 40 minutes. He's still going, bro. Like, I mean, I get it in the beginning. Like, damn, bro.
Let him go. Leave him alone. Don't give him no shine, man. Don't give him no shine. Every man on this panel on their own individual channel has already said, focus on yourself. You know what I mean? Build yourself. Build your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Once you do that, as AMS would say, stay on your purpose. Once you're on your purpose, I don't think dudes believe it, but once you're on your purpose, you have a drive, the women will come. You know what they say, don't chase women, chase money. I'm not the money.
What I told you earlier. What I told you just today.
Well, what's that? You told me a lot of things, man.
100K. Just that. Just throw that out there.
Well, 100K, we talking about?
We was talking about a female, right? And I said the females are counseled, bro. I want the 100K.
Oh,
bro.
Yeah. If a chick got to deal with Alfie, she got to at least come with at least 100K, right?
Yeah, bro. Like, come on, fam.
I've been on that. Like, if a chick don't have something to offer I already said it. My goal right now is to move out the country. Any female in my life right now in America, if she can't help me do that, in addition to other things, like I said, I always bring up taxes. I'm not giving my taxes.
You gotta be able to, fam. You gotta be not, and I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to everybody.
Yeah.
You have to be able to acknowledge a beautiful woman and just stay cool about it, bro. You don't keep going, fam. Yep. And that's how you end up married, divorced, and because you leading with the penis, bro.
Hey, yo, like I said before, any female in my life or allow in my circle, she has to be beneficial. So one of the chicks that I let in my circle recently, not recently, but last year I should say, she was the one that came to me like, yo, you got a channel on YouTube? I was like, yeah, you know, I got. She's like, yo, you should make that into a business. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? She broke it down. Yo, you should make it an LLC, then you can do XYZ. Yo, she took me to the bank, took me to the town, whatever, so I can make my joint into an LLC. That's somebody I'm gonna invite into my circle. And I did not smash. She just wanted to be around me. Go ahead, BOS.
Let me pick it back off you right there, man. I was just talking about this on my show the other day, man. The majority of the benefits I get from women.
It's like, bro, it's like still.
You let him go, man.
Just let him ride, bro. Yeah, he ain't gonna stop. So the majority of the benefits that I get from women, man, come because I always want to establish a platonic relationship with a woman first. Women trust platonic relationships. When they don't feel like you want anything from them, they'll open up. They give you access to all of their resources. They give you access to all of their connections. They give you access to the best of what they have, because women do that for people that they consider to be possible friends. They do shit for their friends they won't even do for their husband. And that's just how they function. So I always start off, man, on a platonic level, because I'm past the point, man, where I'm gonna cut a woman the first day, man. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. Every blue moon, I meet a woman and the sexual energy between us is overwhelming. To the point where, man, you know, if we're in the right place, man, I'd cut a chick at a park, in a porta potty at a construction site, in the parking lot of a grocery store, in the bathroom of a restaurant. This has just been over the course of my life, and I didn't do all that this year. But those occasions when it comes to how often you interact with people, those occasions are spread out. For the most part, man, the best benefit you're gonna get from a woman, man, is when you interact with her on a platonic level, man, because she don't put on any airs and try to act like, and try to be who you want.
Right.
That's the worst thing, man. That's the one thing men don't understand. A woman is always going to be who you want in the beginning, especially if you tell her what you want.
Yep. That's true.
She's going to turn into Halle Berry, man.
And that's kind of like what I was saying, man. Dudes have to learn how to have a conversation without having sex all up in their mind. Like I said before, females feel my shit is off. Females feel energy. So you may approach a chick and start talking about whatever, but if your mind is, I want to smash that so bad, I can't wait to get that. Even though you're talking about whatever's going on in front of her, she can feel that sexual energy, like, this dude is thirsty. I really be talking to chicks like, do you even qualify for a second conversation? That's the type of value that you have to have for yourself. But again, let me backtrack. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of dudes out there. Again, people on the panel may not understand this. There's dudes out here who have single-digit bodies. I heard somebody say that the average normal dude has about 7 bodies, 10 bodies in his life. So when we talk what we're talking about, dudes really can't understand what we're saying, because it's okay. Let me say it differently. We have to go back to when you were at 10 or you were at 7 bodies, whether it be when you were 14, 17. That's the mindset that these dudes have at 35, 45, 50, because they only been with only 7 chicks. You know what I'm saying? So they got to change their mindset, man. That's all, man.
Just real quick, and then anybody can just come on. Like, I'm telling you guys, man. And that's what I'm saying. I said this earlier. Like, if you really want to be a fixture in this game, bro, first off, a lot of guys don't have nothing to offer a woman and wonder why the woman don't check for them, bro. You don't get women by like, ooh, I like you. That's not how it works, bro. All you gotta do is listen. Look, I'm an OG. I'm not an OG. Well, Lawrence and Coach Greg Adams are the OGs, but I'm an OG to a lot of you younger, like 20-year-old cats. If you just listen to the game, bro, you don't even have to approach women, fam.
You don't.
Don't you realize that? You so busy like typing stuff, bro. Like, just listen to this knowledge that we giving you, bro. And then you'll be on boss status, bro. I flake on women every single day, bro. I just post on Instagram with my dog, and my dog gets me chicks.
Yep.
I don't have to say you cute, I like you, you sexy. How can I don't gotta do that. I could just walk my dog at the marina and boom, 5 messages, bro. You got me, Finesse Game. You got RPC, the travel guy. You got the guy, Coach Greg Adams. You got Dr. POA. You got Lawrence T. Adams, bro. Just listen to this game, bro. Don't worry about trying to make connections through the chat, bro. Just listen to the knowledge, man. I'm really just speaking to you and all of you. Just listen to the knowledge and apply it. Because obviously your way ain't working. I bet you ain't got the phone number. You ain't got the phone number yet. All that you doing, you ain't got the phone number. I know you haven't got the phone number yet, bro. Just listen to the game.
Well, guys, I mean, one of the things, they lack confidence. I mean, that's a move that he's obviously lacking confidence. We already addressed it. I mean, she's shouting out another man's name.
Right.
And telling them what she wants to do to this man. And he believes his broke self, sitting over there, with no avatar is going to pick her up. I mean, listen, these are the things that get men beat up, shot, stabbed, all kind of stuff.
Me too. Me
If
too.
you mess with the wrong man's woman and all kind of stuff. We don't know what her situation is. We don't even know if she's a real woman. And, as far as I know, but I look at it as young men lack confidence and they're trying to take too many shortcuts in life. We're trying to tell you, for a man in this world, your game, your ability to produce in this world is like no other. And we can do it for a long time. Now, when you're 20, you don't see this. You don't understand this. You want it now. And you take shortcuts to get it. And you find yourself at 35, 40, still dealing with baby mamas, still dealing with broke women, fat women, etc. However, if you listen clearly, we're going to tell you, once you turn 35, maybe 30, in the next 35 years of your life, you're going to have choice. You can make decisions. You can vet women. You can do it without, you can be patient. If you don't understand that, we can't really help you. Broke dating is not going to get you anywhere. I tried it. I had a Honda Civic for 5 or 6 years and tried to date 9s and 10s. Guess where it got me? Nowhere. Okay. The minute I showed something of myself, it made it a lot easier. And this is why I can come on the show and literally tell guys, 90% of women, I don't even give them the time of day. They're going to have to knock down my door.
Exactly.
They're going to have to kick in. And then when I tell them, when they get here, I'm not waiting for you to lie down on your back. All right. There's not any discussion. When you come here, you lying down. I'm just letting you know. That's if you are looking to come with me. You lying down. And but guys don't get that. And this is why I can say with confidence, I don't deal with these women out here like this. I don't. I went my own way. I'm like, look, I got other things to do. I got money to make. I got 2 jobs. I got a YouTube channel that's going crazy. I'd rather do that than to deal with these women out here. I'd rather do that. They don't get it. They know what he's talking about.
Just school them about like how being on your purpose, you don't have to do nothing, bro.
Attraction confirmation, man. You know what I'm saying? I will not say a word to a woman who doesn't give me attraction confirmation, man. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Now I meet women all the time in my coming and going, just taking care of business. And those are the women that I meet on platonic level. But as far as me approaching a woman, she's going to have to show me attraction. She's going to have to let it be known that she is interested in me. Because otherwise, I got something else I'm more interested in just walking up to some strange woman. Bro.
Right, exactly. Anyway.
Like she ain't even get, say it again. Attraction. I done drunk some wine. Attraction confirmation. So just stop.
Exactly.
It's not even like you got a clue and you just.
But let's say this. What happens is with this young man that's in there. This is once again a teachable
I really don't want to
moment.
block him, Lawrence, because I know he mean well, but it's like
he might be young.
This is the thing. This is the thing. This is a teachable moment because he became a living example of what not to do.
Right.
And what you have to learn is learn the lesson and don't repeat it. It's not so much that we're getting out on you, but we are, because we want to pull the slack out of you, because we're teaching you this is not the way to do it. If you follow
everything is wrong with it, bro.
Yeah,
right. There's no need to even address them. We need to go back to what we were talking about, because right now he's on seek and attention mode. So, who does seek and attention mode?
Females.
It benefits them 100%.
Right. So we're on a logic and information mode. There's 2 different tracks going on here. So when we dip down to that lower track, it doesn't benefit him.
Exactly.
So he has to be. So that also tells me he's not used to being around men.
Exactly.
Let me get to teaching now. He's not learning how to be around men.
Come on now, you want to say it, just keep going.
He doesn't learn how to be around men, because when I'm around people or older men, even when out the places I am, I'll learn how to shut up and be quiet and listen to what they have to say. I do not know it all. And I pay attention. Don't do this, young man. Do that. You might want to do this. You might want to put your money over there. Why? Because the older men are teaching me something because they seen further than what I've seen. Coach Greg Adams just said that. I have the experience. You need to glean for that part and not say this is a tip for tat. Well, what's wrong with this? Anytime you have the question, you're not in a learning mode. And then one just awesome black philosopher said, I debate with my equals and all others I teach.
Correct.
I don't even need to debate with you with this because you know why? You're not on the level to receive it. So when you're in the presence of elders or people that are wiser than you, you be quiet and you learn. I do it all the time, whether online or offline. That's how you grow. Anything else, but we're on two different tracks now. We're giving information and wisdom, and you're going for attention, and you're looking for attention. This is not the time for that. So please learn the lesson, and don't allow this to be another learning lesson for you because you can be blocked.
Hey, let me point out.
Not even just
quick.
Period, bro. Like if I'm outside and I meet a chick and I'm be like, hey, how you doing? And she don't answer me. Hey, you here? Like, no, bro, you do it moving.
Yeah, what I was gonna say was, like I pointed out before, a lot of young males don't have a man role model, and in addition to that, they grew up with their mamas, their aunts, their big sisters, their female teacher. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say they're not accustomed to even listening to men. They got ADD because of that. Yeah. Ain't nobody here yelling, ain't nobody here cursing and screaming. It's not grabbing his attention. We're all over here calm, cool, collected, spitting gems. That's not his cup of tea. I mean, so he's finding ways to like. I mean, this is about 2 or 3. I mean, from what I can see, 2 or 3 females in the chat, and his mindset is to, as opposed to listening to five
boss game.
Yeah, 5 boss game dudes on a live, which is why you came here. You rather type in the chat trying to get with a chick and wait for her response. Like, what do you think was going to happen? She's going to give you her number in the chat? Come on,
that's
bro.
why I'm getting mad because I don't understand it, bro.
Hey, like CGA say, man, the boy got peace sleeve on the brain, man.
Yeah,
you know that peace sleeve on the brain, man. It makes these guys, man, do some crazy things out here, man. You know, some guys call me, man, and I sit and listen to their story, man. I'm like, bro, first of all, you're gonna have to be honest with me.
Thank you.
Because there's no way in hell you being honest with what you telling me. It's too incredulous, man. There's no way. And they're dead serious, man. And I'm like, God, I just can't believe the things that go on out here, man. There's too much information out here. So I don't sympathize with a man who has access to all of this information. Man, when I was 20, I didn't have access to any of this information, bro.
Yeah. Right.
I couldn't have listened to Greg. If I wanted to listen to Coach Greg Adams when I was 20, I had to live in his city, probably in his neighborhood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to see that these things are still going on, which lets me know these guys are doing these things by choice, man. And I don't sympathize with a man who chooses to do the wrong thing.
At this point, we can't get, you know, like you said, there's too much information out there. We can't continue to sympathize for men who get in trouble now. Moving forward, we've been doing this game on YouTube for 5 years. There's been guys before me and guys before these guys that have been building this audience up that afforded us the opportunity to do so. Now guys are still falling for the same trap. You trying to qualify a woman on a site where there's almost 100 men in here.
Right.
You don't know where she lives.
Right.
You don't know if she got a baby daddy. You don't know if she a woman. You don't know anything. But you're so quick to qualify her as opposed to paying attention to the game or at least paying attention to yourself. I look at it as the question people ask, what's wrong with talking to an attractive woman? Is that as a man, you have to understand you get no benefit, especially if she's not standing there in front of you. And even if she is standing there in front of you, you're putting her in a position of superiority.
For sure.
Because you just gave her everything that she needed, her currency. Her currency is attention and validation. And you just gave that to her for doing absolutely nothing. Now, that's like me as a man walking up to you, giving you $10,000 for doing absolutely nothing. And now she can get to say to you, put you in whatever category she wants to put you in without her, at least like BOA said, giving her the attention. What is it? I got to remember that one. He never gave you a head
confirmation, I think he said.
What is it?
Attraction confirmation. Yeah.
Attraction confirmation. She never said, come to me. She never said any of that. And what you have to understand is women who are attractive, that you find attractive, odds are 10,000 people on social media find her attractive that day. Mm-hmm. There's no more hidden gems. There's no more diamond in the roughs. They got ugly women out here with big followings. Okay. There's no more pretty women that nobody's ever discovered. And what men have to understand is that when you see a pretty woman, a whole bunch of men have already chosen not to go after her because they realize that there's other men in the picture. Women don't think like that. They'll see a hot, attractive men come in and they believe they're the only one that has seen that man. What men have to understand is there's a lot of men that want that woman, and you think you're going to say something special to her right now? You going to wet her panties right now?
Oh, wow.
You ain't wetting her panties right now. I can guarantee you that.
Right.
1,000%. Hey, yo, let me say this, though. To be honest, I was thinking about this the other day, and I feel like dudes like the dude we're talking about, the dynamic, or I should say the system kind of needs people like him. Because when dudes like him are out there, that makes dudes like us stand out even more. You understand?
Right.
Because if everybody acted like us, then we would have to switch our game up to a different level. But thanks to this dude right here, he's making the game easier. Because like I said, all I have to do is have a platonic conversation with a chick, and she's giving me what do you say, attraction confirmation, man. Period. From regular conversation, and I'm not talking about anything sexual. I'm not even validating her. I'm really just talking about some random stuff. But like I said before, but my tone that I'm saying it in, you know what I mean? The energy that I'm saying it with, you know what I mean? You gotta know how to banter with females where you're saying something regular, but the energy you give it, like she could take it another way. Like real quick example. I could say something like, or she could say something like, wow, what size shoes you wear? I'm like, I wear 13. You know what that mean, right? She's like, I'm like, yeah, that means I wear big socks. Right. And I'm like, what was you thinking? That's bantering. I'm talking about some regular shit, but I got her thinking about sex though. But I'm done. I'm just talking, man.
I got.
I was about to tell you, man. You starting to take this a direction, man. Where if we gonna start throwing game out there, man, it's gonna go.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it's gonna go a different direction, man.
I'm just talking, man.
I'm just say one sentence and that's it. Why do you want all of you? Why do you want a woman that don't want you? When you get used to being chose on and women admiring you, you don't accept and you don't desire anything else.
Whoever does the choosing has qualified themselves as the giver of attention, affection, and resources. Period. Period. That's just the way it goes. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. That's just how it goes. And that's why I don't cold approach women, because the simple thing is it puts her in the position of power. It puts her in the position of desirability. It makes her the desired. It makes me the one who's doing the desiring. It makes her the one who's being sought after. It makes me the one who's doing the seeking. It makes her the prize. It makes me the one that's running to my mailbox to see if I got that Publishers Clearinghouse check in there. I ain't with that, bro.
Hey, yo, what BOA just said. Hey, yo, I ain't knocking nobody after what I'm about to say. But that's why I don't eat box no more. I don't like the position. I don't like how that makes me feel. Now I'm not knocking anybody for doing it, but I'm in a different place, man. I can't do that no more, man.
I'm not a snake.
Laying on my stomach like a snake while she look down at me, man.
I'm good. Real life and in sex life.
You guys,
on their stomach is me.
y'all guys are taking that. Hey man, I appreciate everybody. I got to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, me too. I got to
be
up.
Hey yo, one more thing.
I got to be up.
And Coach Greg, I'm gonna ask that one last question we're gonna pivot the conversation just a little bit. You know what I mean? The question I have for LDA and Coach Greg Adams is, what advice can you give to men who are currently married right now, who are husbands? Go.
Shit, include me in that too, man.
You already been married, but go ahead,
Go
BOA.
ahead, Dr. BOA. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
whatever advice I got, man. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't have to go first, man, but don't leave me out of that one, man.
You know what? We'll just come backwards and check out and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Go ahead. Let the brothers who have experience in that arena, man, go ahead and go first.
LDA.
Y'all want me to go first? Okay.
Yeah.
Bro, why not?
Because I know y'all gonna heat up after this. I know it. So the advice I have for the man that is married right now, you need to take this information that's being said literally.
Go to Columbia.
Say that again.
Go, Lawrence. I just messed with you. Go.
What did you say?
I said go to Columbia, but go. Just let me.
Oh, my bad. Let me shut up.
No. What you really need to do, don't go to Columbia. You're not gonna be married after that. So the biggest takeaway, if you're in a marriage and you're hearing this information, it's going contrary to what you did when you first got married. So you're gonna have to make an adjustment. You're gonna have to first of all, you got to make sure that you are the man in the house and you set the tone of the house. You got to adjust that. Second of all, you got to remind your wife that she didn't get married. When she got married, it wasn't for one day, but this is for a lifetime. And this is the thing that I expect. So you need to lay some laws down. The third thing you need to do is you also need to set the tone. You need to lay the law, but also the other thing you need to do, you got to because some of y'all ain't getting sex. Just be honest.
Yeah.
Get married and the sex dries up. You got a reminder that this, when we was having sex before we got married, we got married, you want to barely give it up. We need to talk about, this ain't no negotiating deal. I'm not trying to this ain't a terrorist attack. I need you to give me what I want. I need head. I need this. I need you to do this. You have to reminder this is non-negotiable. Sex is non-negotiable. It's not rape. Non-negotiable. I need the sex. She got to be reminded of that. If you do not, you're going to be miserable. You're going to be going down to the divorce court because you were not man enough to set the tone in your home. This is your domain, not hers. She's sharing in it. So you got to set the tone. You got to lay down the law, and you got to bring that sex life back into your marriage. I promise you. Other thing is, keep everybody out your marriage. One of the things I learned when I was married, the mother-in-law was always over at the house. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm gonna just be real clear. Look, I went to church every Sunday. When I come from church, I wanted to come to church, raise my hands, fall out, whatever I'm gonna do, whatever the case. But I'll eat, then I want to have sex. Can't do that if the mother-in-law is downstairs. So I'm just being honest with you.
Right.
So you got to set the tone, the barriers, what is going on, and don't be afraid. I'm telling you, when you do what I'm telling you to do, and what you're going to hear next from the other men, she's going to buck against you because you have not stood up to her in the first place. So she may try to negotiate the sex with you, but this is a non-negotiable thing. She's going to buck up because she needs to see if she's poking the bear or she's dealing with a man that is weak. So she's going to test you because she needs to know that you mean what you say. And once you realize you know you mean what you say, dude, your life is going to change.
Yes.
That's just my little.
Hey, shout your info out. We just gonna pass it around.
You can find me on Instagram, Lawrence D. Adams, and also on YouTube, Lawrence D. Adams. Come up I'm about to do some new things, new branding, new people. You'll see.
Good. RPC.
Yo. So to answer my own question, what I would tell husbands who are married now, I've never been married, but what I would think I would do if I was married is to continue dating my wife. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes get married. Once they say I do, they start coasting. Thinking like, all right, well, she's my wife now, so I don't really gotta do much. I can sit on the couch, watch TV, and just do nothing. Nah, man, like in all actuality, as a boyfriend, that's like a part-time job, you know what I mean? But when you're a husband, that shit full-time now. Matter of fact, that shit is like, what's past full-time? You know what I mean? So the advice I get of husbands is continue to date your wife. know what I mean? Or another thing I would say is your wife need to know the other chicks is choosing up on you. Word. If she believe that, okay, I got him, but she don't know that other chicks are choosing up. That was my. No, let me say, that's one of the things I noticed in my long-term relationship. When I would come home and be like, "Yo," I just have a regular conversation, not even realizing it. Be like, "Yeah, this chick said she liked my shirt and this, that, and third. Who's that?" Yo, it's my classmate. Well, why she say that for? I'm looking like, yo, what the fuck is what's your problem? I just said, but I'm realizing she sees that another chick sees my value. Another thing, this is a quick side note, and the OGs on the panel could correct me if I'm wrong. One of the things that I learned, from dealing with chicks that like me, when they tell me like, oh, I don't like those sunglasses, they don't look good on you. I've learned that those sunglasses attract other women. Boom! That's why they don't like me. You know how long it took me to realize that? Cause I used to wear stuff like, yo, I get a lot of compliments on this. Why does she say this don't fit me? I know why. That this is what is gonna attract the next female. So, fellas, well, I should say husbands, they continue dating your wife, and even more importantly, she has to know that you're still chosen, that she can be replaced. Now, I mean, I'm not even talking about divorce, but she got to know that she ain't the only one that, you know, saying you got other chicks that choose up on you. So, with that said, Rep Chauvinist channel, check out my channel. You know what I'm saying? We talk about building boys into men. You know what I mean? We talk about mastering solitude. We also talk about traveling also, man. Traveling is a big thing. It also helps you to find yourself. So check my channel out. A couple of my videos also do Red Pill Lenses, where I watch a couple of shows and actually break down the way I think that most men should be seeing these relationships that they have on TV. So check out my channel.
Check out the BOA series.
I want to give another shout out to Coach Greg Adams for coming to the Super Friends channel. Shout out to King Ray Ray, aka Dr. BOA, for stepping into the Super Friends channel, and of course my brothers Alfie and LDA, man. Peace to y'all.
The hell is at my door? I'm simple, real quick. Just shout out to me. Follow me on Instagram, Dominance Mindset Raw Game, and then I got all the links and all that. So, Dr. BOA.
Man, I say this to you. If you married right now in 2020, divorce that bitch. You know, because, you know, the bottom line is there's a great chance that she going to divorce you anyway. So if and LDA gave you a lot of hope. If you've let your relationship, if you let your marriage go left, it ain't coming back right. Once you let her get into the habit of not sexing you, bro, it ain't that she in the habit. It's that y'all don't want to have sex with each other anymore. Right. The lack of attraction is mutual at this point. You know, once a woman turns you off, she can't turn you back on. And like CJ was telling y'all, man, you got to understand, once a woman goes that way where she start offering you the unwashed peace sleeve, man, bro, you can't come back from that. Once you get that smell, it's over. The attraction is gone. You know what I'm saying? You see the Pizza Hut PJs, man, it's over. So, you know, if it's to that point, you got to use this as a learning experience and know how to deal with women from now on, because there's no salvaging a marriage that's already over and two people are just still in it because no one has the balls to divorce. I'm telling you, brother, if you are in a marriage and you are unhappy, you are not going to wake up one day and suddenly be happy in that marriage. If you're in a marriage and you happy in it, look at what you're doing. Keep doing some more of that, because obviously it's working. Because if you're happy, that means the woman is at least doing enough to make you happy. That's really all you can ask for in any relationship, is to get the things that satisfy you in the relationship. If you're getting that, man, keep doing what you're doing. Don't let those things slack. But if they already gone left, bro, you need to be calling your attorney in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and end it, bro. Because if a man like Dr. Dre, with all that popularity and all that notoriety, $800 million, can't keep a woman who's gone through a whole lot with him, they got all this history,
you ain't got no chance.
What chance you got, man, with 80,000?
80, 50, BOA.
You know what I'm saying? 50, and that's the reality of it, man. I'm not saying this to be funny or joke about it. I just believe that, man, if you're in a situation where you're already miserable in a relationship, man, you need to be getting a divorce, bro. And I think your chances are better as a man if you file.
Yes.
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 Preach.
Yeah, bro. What I would say is on this one, listen, you got to understand, most men don't want to be honest about their marriage right now. Most of them they're off the rails. But I would tell you, recognize, acknowledge, and accept the red flags as you see them. Be honest. If your girl's texting somebody, is she suspicious with her phone? If she cheated on you before, if you cheated on her before, whatever it is, she got a side boyfriend, she got a work husband, acknowledge the red flags and write them down. The next thing you need to do is do a cost-benefit analysis of your relationship, do an accounting of your marriage right now, and discover if you're Lamar Jackson and you carrying a whole team, or if you Tom Brady and everybody else carrying you to Super Bowls. All right, you're gonna have to really figure out what it is that's happening in your marriage, and if you removed yourself from it today, would she be there? Would she actually come with you? Or would she say, well, I got the best out of him, I'm out of here. So do a cost-benefit analysis of your relationship. What does it cost for me to keep and maintain her? And is there any benefit of continuing to doing that? The last thing you need to do is understand the marital laws in your area. Like, for instance, if you live in California and you're at 10 years and 1 day of your marriage, and then you're like, oh, I don't want to do this no more. Well, guess what? You got to pay her lifetime alimony for the rest of her life. So if you're at 9 years and 365 days, and you know that as the next week comes along, you can escape that lifetime alimony, you want to get a divorce right now. If this marriage is not going to work out, if you're looking at all the red flags. So know your marital laws. Know if she can collect alimony. Know if she can collect child support. How long can she collect child support? If I stay with her another year and make it, listen, if you're in marital counseling right now, it's over.
Right.
It's over.
Right.
If you're in any type of counseling, your church counseling, your pastor counseling, it's over.
Yeah.
Right.
It ain't getting no better. I can promise you. It might get better temporarily, but this is a divorce pending. So that's what I would say. You can find me at Coach Greg Adams on anything. That's what I pretty much have. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff under that tag, YouTube as well.
Yeah, I say that same thing, man. Book of Alpharonomy. You type in Book of Alpharonomy. First page on Google is all me. Everywhere I belong, everywhere I am. There's only one me. So you just type it in, and then I'll come up.
And I just want to publicly I appreciate all of you guys, man. Like RPC, LDA, I know y'all for 2 years. I knew BOA for like maybe 1.5 years or something, like a little bit. And it was a pleasure to chop game with you, Uncle Coach Adams, for the first time. Hopefully you slide through again. You always welcome, bro. That's how we do it over here. This is the channel for the players, bro. This ain't really the channel for this is where the players hang out, man. So it was a pleasure having you. You always welcome. Peace to the chat. I hope you guys listen to the game. Put the females on the back burner, bro. Get the game first.
You know something on some real talk, man? I feel like I don't listen to CGA enough after this, man. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the things he said tonight, I haven't heard on his channel. So I feel I got to go brainstorm this brother content, man. I thought I was listening to him pretty regularly, man, but we there's some commonalities, man, that we have in our approach, man, that I haven't heard on this channel, man. So I definitely, man, got to absorb it a little bit more, man.
That's Coach. It's the energy, man, that it come out. You know what I mean?
Like, Coach, I'm surprised we didn't get a monkey double backflip in this whole episode.
I know. I didn't say it one time. What happened?
One time. That's crazy.
Yeah. The monkey double backflip.
Hey, listen. I didn't hear the monkey simp either, man.
Yeah, monkey. I almost don't do the monkey simp. I was waiting for it. I was like, he's gonna be a monkey simp, but I got to start using that again. I kind of went away from it, but I'll bring it back.
Yeah, great show, man.
Just in the chat, I'm not being disrespectful, but like I say, like you guys got to realize, I'm not 21, I'm not 28, I'm 39, fam. I don't have no tolerance for BS, bro.
Right.
I'm an old guy, man. I've been doing so. I demand respect, and I don't like certain stuff, and I don't feel like on my platform I got to pretend like it don't bother me, because it does, bro. Because I know where you guys are trying to get. And I know that doing the things that you do is not going to get you there. And now I'm going to just drop the mic right there. I'm going to drop the mic literally. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Uh,
Oh,